be worse. Take my 5th shot tonight, it's whatever. No, dog, I swear I'm getting better.
Alright, I'll say this. That's a sick shirt. Dang!
Yep.
Redbubble's finest?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Some guy named, like, Fine Art of MK or something like that.
That's the MF Doom.
Oh, shit.
That's
yeah.
MF Doom.
Yo, we got him.
Fine art of...
Oh, yeah, MK right there.
Yeah.
That's where I got the Kanye Monster shirt.
Yeah.
And I'd be peeping his designs because he does comic book style stuff about rap.
Dope.
And this one caught my fancy.
For everyone listening,
I sent you the one of like Childish Gambino's Because of the Internet.
Yes. Yeah, I wanted that as a shirt for sure. But yeah, for everyone listening who's not watching the YouTube right now, go to the description, check out our YouTube channel where this will be a video podcast. You can see Alex's lovely Mac Miller, Anderson .Paak Dang shirt.
We should have a Maury themed episode of the show. That would be very funny.
Keep bringing people in to expose them.
Yeah.
For not actually liking the rap that they claim to like.
Yeah, you did not stream that album. You just said it was good.
Friend of the show, Little League, reached out. First of all, we'll cut this. He says that we should absolutely not. But he also said that we did him dirty with the last episode during the Post Malone review because he stands by that Post Malone album.
Lil D.
What can I say?
You know, we'll get you on soon, but we're too busy.
For the Drake.
We are just too busy popping off over here to worry about any of your hater shit. Okay.
And speaking of last episode, check it out. It'll be in the link in the description. Episode 56, special episode.
In my opinion, a landmark episode.
It is.
55 is actually.
Oh, 55, really? Okay. Yeah, we shot it out in the car again for the first time since the fucking 4th episode or something like that, 3rd episode. And we did a little special rap snacks, big extravaganza thing that at this point is its own separate video, so you can check that out if you want to just watch the video. But it also is attached to the last podcast as well that you can find on Alex.
YouTube.com.
Spotify and Apple.
I was not listening.
Good.
Well, sometimes you start doing the promotional stuff and my eyes just glaze over.
But Spotify, Apple, Podcasts, Stitcher, all that shit. I'm Andrew, this is Alex, and Josh is in the corner here, just off screen. That's it.
Yeah.
I think we're about done.
Yeah, all right. Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
That could have been a pre-production meeting thing. We didn't need to say that.
We should. We should get him on at some point. We should get all of our talented friends on, including Josh's talented friend Ezekiel, who's the front man of Duck Eye and the Quacks, who we've briefly talked about before in the past. But we urge you to listen to the music if you're in the GTA area. See them live because they had a show in Toronto the other day. Junction Underground. I was there with my girlfriend and a few friends, and it was a blast.
Yeah. Jumbotron shit poppin', aka.
Yeah,
Duck Eye.
Our first show in Toronto too, which is pretty cool.
Yep.
I said like one day we'll play in the big city, and we did the other day, which was cool. Yep. It was a hassle. It was like a bitch and a half to like get there because we all had to take the train together with all our gear and shit. But
I heard so many things behind the scenes of like at one point our mom was going to pay for everyone's Uber to get there, and I'm like, absolutely not. That she should not do that. Yeah. And
I told her it's like no.
And then at one point there was like a U-Haul was going to be a thing as well.
Yeah,
they rent a U-Haul just to bring everything down.
We were gonna rent a U-Haul, but they were like, people were like, nah. It's too much work. Let's just all take the train together.
Damn.
And also, shout out to Shebad for being probably the best band in Guelph.
That might be a diss. Because who comes from Guelph, man?
Yeah, exactly.
What bands are from Guelph?
There's no
that's not a diss.
There's no competition.
Yes, so I don't know. It might be a slight.
They're easily the best band in Guelph, and also they're just a fucking amazing band. Super talented.
The one chick had a crazy violin solo that was like. After that, I just left with my girlfriend because I'm like, we can't top that. We gotta get out of here. It was really good.
Yeah.
But you guys were better, and my girlfriend was also like they're like no bias, like they're just better than the other two bands. So
I disagree. I think Shebad is honestly fantastic.
But yeah, check out Duck Eye on all the shit, because it's like R&B shit, like Frank Ocean laced kind of stuff, and
Steve Lacy a little bit.
Yeah, follow them on Instagram and stuff, because you'll see our boy.
Yes,
here.
Yeah, and we'll get him on the pod at some point when you guys are about to do Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
It'll be like, one of those biopics where it's like, oh man, about to go on at MSG.
Yeah.
Do I do my podcast with my original mates, or do I leave them in the dust and do a podcast with Joe Rogan?
Oh my god.
Josh on Joe Rogan, just like trying to fit in.
I would pay for that.
Wrestling, right? Pretty cool, huh?
I would not try to fit in. I would be like, what the fuck
man? I would pay to see him just try to destroy him, but then Joe Rogan would just fucking semi-duplex you fucking across the tail. I don't know any wrestling moves, but he'd fuck you up.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But I would like at least get a word.
You'd mentally get to him, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd hurt his feelings.
Also, news. Unfortunately, the Rap Snacks Corporation has not reached out to us.
No.
And has not given us $50,000.
I've yet to send them a stern email. So
but
maybe
if you're a Rapcast fan, go in.
Just
harass them
at Rap Snacks. Yeah, because that was a lot of fun. It took me a while to edit that, so check it out.
But I was watching it the other day, and I was thinking like they would never sponsor it because how much we hated on those one Migos chips.
Yeah, and just all of them. Yeah, almost. And the fact that I didn't have a shirt on the whole time, and the camera quality was terrible because we shot it on a phone.
And we made jokes about someone's untimely death. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if corporate America is really ready for this.
You're playing a character. You're playing a character.
But keep an eye out for the Rapcast sellout arc, which is going to happen.
The peak is coming. Yeah, hopefully
pretty soon.
Yeah, big stuff behind the scenes.
We're going to be doing TikTok duets with Fantano. Right now, it's fuck anyone who ain't Superfinger.
Facts.
Or Superfinger related affiliates who we endorse. Okay.
Yes. If we don't fuck with you, then fuck you.
Government of Israel, we do not fuck with you.
Yeah. Yes, there we go.
And we're just gonna leave it there.
Yeah.
Because
it'll happen. It will have to come up later.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, but a lot of stuff to get to today. Big albums that dropped. We will not, unfortunately, be talking about Earl Sweatshirt Alchemist yet, because we want to all take our time with it and get a big deep dive into that at some point, hopefully in the near future. And the Drake album is an hour and a half long, so I also have not listened to that, and I'm not looking forward to it based on reviews either. But he references Millie Bobby Brown on it, so that's all I really know.
Yeah, Drake is he's on one right now, and I don't know if we want to get this out of the way now or talk about it later, but I'm just going to say it like, Drake is that meme of, the worst person you know just made a good point. Because he's going after Joe Budden and Charlemagne the God now.
True.
And those are, in my opinion, some of the most despicable media figures we've ever had.
I mean, you were a fan of Joe Budden podcast before I was. You were into it for a bit.
I was entertained like a lot of people, but once you get to know the machinations of his mind and
the narcissism and
the absolute just
scummy behavior,
out of touch.
Yeah.
That being said, anyone hating on Drake, I support in a way, but also fuck Charlemagne the God. I mean, he's terrible. He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
We should
hip hop news.
Okay.
Ye has been in the news a little bit. Rumors are swirling that he could drop an album at any moment, that he's going to drop a surprise record. This is Kanye, that is. He's been in Italy with his wife, I guess, Bianca, for a bit, and I think there's going to be like a Tyler Sign collab album, which is going to be interesting, to say the least. I'll listen to it, and I'm sure we'll talk about it in some capacity.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm excited to.
I'm excited.
With the person that I'm sitting across from right now, I can't say. I'm going to hope that you get into some sort of accident beforehand, so it prevents us from talking about it in full.
Wow. That's not good juju to be putting out there.
To me, it's just funny. It's like he's been into Japan and Italy. World War II, who sided with the Nazis?
Yeah. Once again, he is on the wrong side of history.
Yeah. But the right side of fashion.
Yes.
Sure.
Oh God, don't.
He's dressing like it's Star Wars.
You're reminding me of the longest train ride of my life right now, bro.
Yeah, Kanye. Everyone's gonna hate on him, and he did say all those things.
Yeah, and from what I recall, didn't go back on any of them either. So
I think he came out and said, I watched Superbad.
Oh, that's
and
right.
It made me reconsider my statements about the Jewish people.
Whoa, I forgot about that. That's...
Yeah. Look, I'm saying,
gotta love him
if anyone can cool things down in the Middle East right now, I think
Hill?
Kanye is the guy who can
I thought Jonah Hill.
Oh, right, yeah. I'm saying if Kanye and Jonah Hill teamed up,
Yeah.
anything.
Or a 21 Jump Street type movie.
Speaking of trauma, the Doja Cat fan base has been through a lot. An artist that we want to talk about today, and I'm just going to get into it.
Yep.
Because we've bullshitted enough. Doja Cat Scarlet album review. Let's talk about our history with Doja Cat a tiny bit here.
Good question. Moo was the first one I heard.
It all started with a moo.
With just the meme song Moo, and I never really listened to it unironically. Like, I never, I just, it was
Wait,
just
that's
meme.
a lot of negatives there. Never listened to it unironically.
Never.
So you did listen to it ironically? I don't know. What are you saying?
I never actually listened to the song, like, independently of just the video meme shit. Like, I didn't have it on my phone. I didn't blast it a bunch of times. Like, it was whatever. And I don't... From there, I don't know. Because I was into her a little bit before this Say So became, like, a big thing.
True or false? Was she on, like, one of those Kenny Beats, like, The Cave things or whatever?
She was. I remember.
Was she? I don't remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that because he was like really It was funny. He was really flustered because he was so attracted to her.
Damn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Kenny Beats, you dog.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was a good episode. I remember watching that episode. It's like made a good track. It was pretty. There had some funny moments. And shit.
Is that where you kind of came in?
Well, I say this to say that in her early days, the marketing of her music was more like, internet-y.
Yeah.
People who would know
She's
Kenny
a bit
Beats.
of a jokester. It's more niche.
Memes, people who follow Zach Fox on Twitter,
Yeah.
or, like that whole kind of, that culture, that side of things in the mid-2010s decade. And then everything just got bigger and bigger as far as the pop appeal of Doja Cat.
And I remember at one point it was early 2020, and me and my old roommate Lilo were like into Doja Cat enough to like let's go see her in like March or something like that. Yeah, at it was where we saw Vince Staples that one time when he did the solo show. Like some decently small venue. The tickets were like $40.
The Phoenix Auditorium or
some shit like that. And now it's just like, and then COVID happened. Didn't end up going to the show, obviously. She canceled the tour or whatever. And now I'll never be able to see Doja Cat for $40 ever again because she's just way too popular now.
No, it's over for that.
I think it was the songs, to get more specific, the Juicy song with Tyga and Like That with Gucci Mane were the ones that like kind of got me into her like that. And then I listened to the Hot Pink album. Shortly after that, Say So blew up around the end of 2019, I think. Beginning of 2020. And from there it was only up.
Yeah, and I find it interesting the transition of her career and how quickly it all went up. And obviously she is very talented.
Yeah.
With the dancing and the videos and everything, and they really had her on like a record company slave contracts or whatever, where you're just constantly working.
Yeah.
Kind of like how Rihanna for like 10 years was just like on an insane schedule.
And now people are perplexed why she hasn't dropped in fucking 8 years or whatever.
Yeah, and they kind of, according to my perception of things, they had her working over OT because there was videos for like every single song from that era, or like a good percentage of them.
They saw something in her, and they put all their money towards.
And those
all their
videos
chips
are
in.
hard work too.
Yeah.
She's in
And
a million
the photo
different
shoots,
costumes,
magazines, the choreography, like.
And she spoke about feeling like way overworked and
Yeah.
But that being said, like the first Doja Cat album that we talked about on the Rapcast was the Planet Her from 2021 that summer.
It was in your top. I think it was an honorable mention for you that year.
Yeah, no, it ended up being like on my top 10 list near the bottom.
Yeah.
But like still one of the more like it impressed me.
It is a good record. It's like I still listen to songs off it for sure.
Yeah, certain like I gave it a listen the other day, and a lot of the songs do give me nostalgia for that time in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Like Need to Know was a good one.
Yeah, Get Into It, as well.
Just good tracks about female sexuality, about just love songs, things that anyone can get into, but with her own kind of
accessible,
sense of
but
humor.
with a spin. There is some sense of humor in
The
there.
Get Into It song. I remember when we were at one of the parties at your house. We were playing some kind of drinking game where you had to flip the thing into a pizza box, and one of the options was like karaoke a Doja Cat song or whatever. And I remember like your white nerdy friends like being like doing a cover of Get Into It,
I wouldn't know. I wasn't there for the moment.
Pull up with a try
because of a whole incident that happened.
Oh yeah, we made you drink.
My older mate made me drink like the hottest hot sauce that even he doesn't drink, and I'm terrible with spicy foods, and I was out for like 45 minutes.
And I just
pissed
stayed there
off.
hanging out with your friends.
And also like Aiden's little brother, who was like 17 years old, drinking with us, like was not.
Yeah, some underage drinking going on.
Yeah,
nothing sus though.
No, he's a chill guy. Anyway.
Great. So now we're incriminated.
Yeah, that
allegedly.
Yeah, that's true. The album dropped. It was huge. Kiss Me More was a huge hit. The song of the summer for us. I think we concluded as well that year.
Yeah.
And at this point, it was like, okay, like she's an A-list star. Like, let's see what she does next. And
the answer to that question was she said that COVID-19 was a hoax.
Did she say that?
Yeah.
Really?
That was actually in like March 2020.
Oh.
So it was kind of like, it was so fresh then. Like, it wasn't being.
I was also probably saying the same shit to my friends.
Anti-vax didn't have its like this political nature that it has now.
Yeah.
The reason I mention that is because Doja Cat has a very long section on her Wikipedia page of controversies.
Yeah.
And that's a lot about what this new album is about. So I wanted to kind of go through some of the things.
Yeah.
And give our 2 cents on where we fall. I mean, I know we've been covering Doja Cat a little bit recently on the podcast. We did talk about it in the last episode.
Yeah, very briefly.
But just about, the perception that she's kind of abusing her own fans and not being appreciative of them. Backlashes against her boyfriend, her current
going
boyfriend.
back on her pop music, saying it was all trash and you guys were stupid for listening to it type shit, or like stupid for liking it type of stuff.
So like as we get into the album, we'll get into this topic and whether or not we find her perspective on it convincing, or if we're kind of more on the side of the social media mob that didn't like her.
I mean, the first one that I remember was before we get into the review is the one. I think it dropped like after "Kiss Me More," but before Planet Her actually dropped. And it was the whole thing of her being in like these racist chat rooms online, showing her feed, and just like being okay with a bunch of white people saying the N-word to her, and like just kind of being in these weird spaces. Which I think kind of blew over just because I think the album came out and enough people liked it where it just didn't seem to matter.
Yeah.
But it still is an interesting little tick in her timeline. Just to be like, okay, this is good to remember, just so the other stuff kind of makes a little more sense, maybe if you reference it back.
Yeah, and that also relates to like her past of being more of a her fan base or her cultural milieu she came up with being a more internet-y meme, which kind of can border on that line of like racist chat rooms and stuff like that. But there was also a thing that I read about that where it was like at the time she put out some song called "Didn't Do Nothing,"
Yes.
Which was sort of a right-wing meme that was going around
Yeah.
about, like, the George Floyd protests of, like,
remember
mocking black people, saying, like, oh, I didn't do nothing, like...
I remember that. Yeah, people were pissed off because that was, like, a thing, that kind of term was used kind of in the past to, like...
Yeah, as basically a racist meme,
Yeah.
and she did come out later and apologize and say it was a big mistake that she did that.
Yeah. It's telling. It's telling for sure.
Which, yeah, like, obviously 2 white guys in a basement somewhere are not going to come up with the final pronunciation on whether, on good or bad, Doja Cat, problematic or unproblematic.
Yeah.
But I do think...
We're just doing it for fun and for ourselves.
And I think they're interesting things to debate.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, an outspoken woman, like, in the media out there, like, is gonna inspire a lot of people coming out and saying, no, she should have shut up and did her job or whatever, and she should have done this, or should have done that. I do find it's interesting to get into those topics.
Yeah.
So, cancel Doja Cat. We don't want to talk about it.
I'm ripping up the pages.
No, it's still art. And yeah.
And what did you think overall of the art itself? I know you weren't crazy about the singles going into it, where I was more optimistic with the songs "Paint the Town Red" and "Attention," and even "Demons" to a lesser extent.
I thought it was really good.
I too thought it was like a good piece of music and body of work overall.
Yeah. I was overall, like, pretty convinced by, like, her speaking her mind about these issues.
Yeah.
And we can get into specifics.
Yeah.
I like the overall direction of her sound that she's going.
And I'll say that I probably still prefer, like, if I haven't listened to Planet Her, like, front to back in a long time. I still kind of maybe probably prefer that album and, like, her more poppy stuff. Just because it is a little bit more, it's, like, more accessible, and it's, like, this album, like, the one of the things that kind of lowers it for me, this new album, Scarlet, is that, like, it is a bit samey. Some of the raps and some of the flows, and, like, her lyricism, like, isn't, like, all that. But I think, to me, what makes up for that is her energy and her charisma and the beats as well. Like, I think she makes up for it in a lot of different ways.
I think she gets into more interesting subject matter on this one than her last album.
Lyrically for sure, yeah.
And I tend to stick on subject matter a little bit more so than sound.
Yeah.
And then sometimes I'll return to stuff later on, and then I'll remember if the sound is really something that isn't that impressive.
Yeah.
Like,
I think maybe
when I re-listen to Planet Her, like, half the songs could be deleted off of it, probably.
Yeah,
like,
I think probably looking at my phone, it's like probably half of them are deleted, and I only probably have like 8 or 9 songs from there.
Like,
but the songs that I do like, I really like. I think maybe like I like a lot of the songs and singles more from Planet Her, but like the album itself, this is more cohesive. This is a better like overall body of work that is trying to say something, and it's like actually, you know, it's meaningful to her, what she can tell.
And I think it's higher level hip hop, like higher level rapping.
Versus her old stuff?
On certain tracks. Then at least Planet Her, I haven't heard the full Hot Pink album or her. I haven't gotten like that far.
Hot Pink was pretty good, but it just didn't. I don't return to too much on other than like the big singles, just because it didn't really do anything for me. But
there's the song about like you go down, go down, go down. I'm gonna see you go to town.
That one's on the album before that.
Oh, okay.
Which is called something else. I don't remember what it's called. I never listened.
That's an older song that I've gotten into recently. But
that one was a good one though.
But like the point being that she always had that like the ability to go pop, and she did it to make money. And it maybe took her sound in a different direction, but this is a course correction. She's going back to doing more. Because
I remember people, even like friends in my group chat, being like, "Doja Cat's doing a rap album." Like, well, she can't rap type shit, and I'm like, she was a rapper before she was a pop star. Like, so it's not like that crazy of a thing. And like I remember like sending them links to songs where she rapped well. Like, guys, like, you're not listening. Like, she can actually rap. Like, I was never like against her ability to her rapping ability. Like, I know she can rap. But she proved it on here to me. All right, do you want to do some song? Get into some songs here, and then we can get into some of the issues, some of the highlights, some of the controversy, all that kind of good stuff. Starting that off, starting off the album with the biggest hit.
Yeah, Paint the Town Red.
And then poppiest song on here, probably Paint the Town Red. I remember last week we talked about it a little bit. You said you weren't that big of a fan of it. Has it changed at all?
It's an earworm, and
Yeah.
I think its chart success that it's had, being the first #1 rap song of the year on the Billboard chart, has definitely pushed it.
Telling, yeah.
It doesn't exactly blow my mind. It's probably like the most... It's catchy, but it doesn't really say too much on the album.
It gets into a little bit of some of the themes that she'll get into here about like industry fans, social media, her problems with all that kind of stuff. Some of the more like the Satanism claims and all that kind of shit. Like it gets into it a little bit, but it was telling to be like when she was tweeting about how like my next album isn't going to sound anything like the past stuff. It's going to be something completely new, and the first song on the album and one of the biggest single is something that could have been on Planet Her. Like it is like.
Yeah.
It says something.
It's been really overplayed, though. I found, like, you can't go onto, like, TikTok or Instagram Reels or like, whatever without somebody, like, putting that song behind it, you know, like, or, like, you know...
Yeah, it's not as good of a single either as, like, you know, Kiss Me More or fucking, even, like, Tia Tamara, like, one of her harder other rap songs.
Yeah.
Like,
it's just, the standards are lower right now because there's not as much interesting stuff on the charts nowadays.
Yeah, a lot of country.
With rap, specifically.
Oh, Doja Dog.
What did you think about the album?
She fucking pukes, damn, man.
You heard
Nikki,
it here first. You heard it here first.
Nikki is not a Doja Cat fan. Yikes.
Somebody had too much turkey.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not going to tolerate this puking.
Go. Nikki versus Doja. Nicki Minaj versus Doja Cat. Here we go.
Fight.
That's
Round
what it's
2.
all about. Nice. Round 3. Nice.
I think the album starts off strong with a couple of...
Yeah, I
like,
start a lot of these first ones here.
These songs, you know, they keep your attention.
Yeah, and overall, like, Paint the Town Red is kind of like like, how she's happy with herself kind of thing. Like, it is almost a positive song to an extent, and it's nice to hear that she's like, I don't care that you wouldn't fuck me, I don't care that, like, I think I look better when I'm bald type shit. Like, it's not all, like, fucking hate and doom and gloom and shit. Like, she's to be happy with herself and happy with the direction that she's in.
Yeah, you can definitely, like, whenever something from Doja Cat gets posted on DJ Academic page, all the comments underneath are, like, the most... Those are all those, like, the hate comments that are the most popular. She's responding to mostly all those types of things on this.
No, exactly.
Demons, great energy on that one.
It's almost... It grew on me for sure. I didn't like it all that much at first.
Is it kind of derivative of her contemporaries a little bit, like
Kendrick and Keem? It sounds like a Kendrick and Keem kind of like that kind of delivery to me.
What, of doing this kind of cute,
just like the kind of
voice,
or just like the kind of halted kind of flow that she kind of does. Like, I don't know, it really reminds me of like I'm a cash cow. Like, that's to me is like Keem could have done that. You know, like just the flow wise.
I was thinking more like when she gets on her rage shit, it's kind of she's doing like a Rico Nasty thing or like a. But
yeah, I can see the influence.
It's hard. It's hard for me to say that because I don't know as much about the history and who actually originated certain sounds because these people have both been around for a long time. So, but that was definitely one that the video was turning heads because
the video was crazy. That was a great video.
Dressed up like a literal fucking demon.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny how I was just thinking about playing around with the I'm demonic, I'm a demon, I'm a Satan worshiper stuff, and how sometimes sometimes it is fun and it's funny, and sometimes it's trying way too hard to court controversy.
Yeah,
and I felt that the Lil Uzi Vert thing with all of his devil shit that he does, and even Playboi Carti to a degree, I find that to be kind of, I just think it's kind of lame, and it's. Yeah. If it weren't for the reaction to it, it would have no meaning or value whatsoever. It's only because it's for shock value, and that's why it's kind of cheap. But like, I think she dedicated enough to the satanic imagery stuff on this new album to be like, she did enough interesting stuff, and she actually featured some of her own paintings about like satanic stuff in the Agora Hills video.
That's right. So do you think, like, in your personal opinion, that she's doing this for controversy, or do you think she's actually like a practicing Satanist?
No, I think it's genuine artistic expression,
Right.
and but it is definitely like as a reaction to, oh, you want to paint me like I'm some horrible person,
Then I'm gonna fucking yeah. I'll one up you.
Which, yeah, I guess you could make the argument that it's the same thing for when Lil Uzi Vert does it,
Right.
But
at least she's trying, and she's trying more to like actually go after those claims, whereas Lil Uzi's just
I think
some bullshit.
with her situation, with who she is, it takes more bravery to do something like that than a Lil Uzi Vert.
For sure, especially going from Doja Cat, like pop star Doja Cat back in 2021 to now. Like it's a huge turn. Like no one really could have thought that this was going to happen. Whereas Lil Uzi Vert's always been just kind of a weirdo and just kind of like,
he's just
shit.
It's all hype with him, with
them, Alex. We misgendered them the whole time. On the other podcast.
Canceled.
I have to, We're going to brand... Alright, live branding. We're going to brand Alex live. Cancel on the forehead.
That'd be a fun thing for the the
next
Halloween
Rapcast
episode.
Oh, yeah. We just inflict torture on each other.
We're going to be reviewing torture devices.
Ooh, okay. We have to freestyle while it's like an Eric Andre.
Our haters will send us free torture devices.
Yeah. We have to freestyle while mentioning them.
I had one question about this track, though. Is the "What Are Those" meme kind of too old to even...
Yeah, that's the thing. Because it's on this song, and it's also on another one that she has a "What Are Those?"
Yeah, I mean, what
on
are
the
those?
song
What
97.
those?
I'm like,
come on, man. Yeah. There's just something about referencing memes and songs where it's like, if that meme was from a long enough ago, it's cringe to see. You're still saying that?
Yeah.
It also
we moved on.
Dates the album, like
for sure.
It cannot be timeless anymore.
I think I also just never liked the "What Are Those" meme.
Yeah, no, same.
Because like it's the kind of thing somebody would say if they were like they had the newest iPhone and the newest Nikes or whatever, so they can flex and say like, oh, you're an asshole because you got some shitty Samsung with a cracked screen or whatever. Like, I'm a shitty Samsung guy, and what are these? Yeah, these are rare shit that I got from Value Village. Okay. So I think this song maybe processed some of that trauma.
Okay. Got you. I'm sorry you had to go through that, Alex.
It's also the most like classist type of like meme.
Oh, completely.
Yeah.
It's like, you're poor.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. That I remember that shit from high school almost.
Yeah,
it's 2016. Like it's almost a 10-year-old meme.
It was a meme when she first got famous.
Yeah. I don't know.
You got to move on with your memes.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
Wet Vagina.
Okay,
I like this one.
This is a fun one.
She's doing representation out here for the rough sex enjoyers.
And who else is gonna have the chorus just being "I bring the drip with wet vagina" over and over again? Like no one else is gonna. Maybe Rico Nasty. Maybe Cardi. Well, yeah. Maybe a few other people might do it, but Doja Cat does it well.
What would you describe as the sound of that track? Like it did it could have been Playboy Cardi.
I thought ASAP Rocky beat almost.
Oh, okay.
Like that kind of style.
Like it's sort of there's sort of a slightly horror theme for a lot of these first tracks, and that can as far as the sound goes.
And she starts referencing some of her controversy here in this one. She has some references, I think, towards her her boyfriend, her current boyfriend, who's like. I don't think we've really talked about it. I read in one article once, months ago, and I don't remember what the controversy is, but I think he used to be a Twitch streamer or something, and he is just kind of really misogynist and low-key racist, and I don't know. I can't remember exactly the claims, but he's problematic, to say the least.
Yeah, I can't really give a pronouncement because I didn't look into it at all.
Yeah,
but. I don't know, this whole thing of everyone's hating on my man, but I'm gonna stick by him. I can't really hate on that.
Right. I think this song, it doesn't bother me. Some other ones later on, it becomes more apparent, but we'll get into that when we get into it. She also references, I think it's this song where she talks about would you tell me I can't smoke in here? Like, I didn't know that you couldn't smoke in here type shit. Like, referencing her one Met Gala appearance from earlier this year where she showed up as the cat, and there were pictures of her vaping, and now it's like a rumor that she's like banned from ever attending another Met Gala.
Yeah, because you're not allowed.
The least consequential fucking drama that's ever existed to us. Man. But
we got other rappers talking about like confessing to crimes on songs.
She's talking about how she's not allowed at the fucking fancy people party anymore.
I vaped at the fancy people party.
Yeah.
That is kind of badass, though, honestly. It's
props. I thought that video of her was really funny.
If anything, that should give you more respect.
Yeah.
I'm coming up with the whole uncancel Doja Cat narrative as we go through this thing.
Yeah.
In fact, she was right about everything.
Yes. Including about Sam Hyde. Anyway.
Yeah.
What?
Sam Hyde.
She wore a Sam Hyde's t-shirt the other day, and people were talking about it. Again, I think she's just trying to fucking push people's buttons.
It's a rhetorical.
Yes, yeah. I don't support Sam Hyde, obviously. Yeah. I just kind of look like him, unfortunately. If I put my hair down and really just let myself go a little bit, you know.
I'm pretty sure he does like Jordan Peterson style, like clean up your room stuff now. So
interesting.
So that could be a future for you too.
I'm not saying no. Leave it open.
Look, Rapcast fans. Sorry. The reason you're still a virgins is because you don't buy my books.
Yeah. Because you're listening to too much Playboy Cardi.
Yeah. Anyway,
next song, "Fuck the Girls," FTG.
This one is probably going to be like controversial somewhat for, you know, like you could make a narrative that it's like being sexist in its own way.
Right.
But I think it's more about sexism in the world and in the music
also
industry.
in the music and that's kind of what I took out of it. But also, I've been watching the show Girls with Lena Dunham, like the HBO show.
Yeah.
With my girlfriend, and based on my girlfriend's reactions as well and the story she's told, I think women just don't like each other a lot of the times, and even when they're friends, they kind of fucking hate each other. I'm like, why are you even friends then? Like, what's the point?
I mean, I secretly hate both of you, but that goes way back.
No, that's layers to that.
Some old grudge.
Yeah.
Till that time you ignored me.
That time I used that robot thing we had and punched it into your forehead. I just launched it into your forehead.
The time Alex punched the Hulk blow up thing that you didn't even want.
I wanted the Spider-Man one.
I'm sorry, man. Can we get
not forgiven? No, I'm gonna hold it till the grave. So I could see both points of like this is talking about the music industry, but also it is maybe kind of like anti.
But it's
woman.
It's more, I think, making the point about the way that women are always pitted against one another.
Exactly. And like, oh, if you're gonna pit me against each other, then I'm gonna go against them. Almost, it's like it's kind of like the same. Like she's owning the Satanism claims. She's owning like the sexism claims. Like she's kind of just like she's doing it, you know. And I think it's on purpose that it's as open as it is. Like I think it was for a reason. So there could be multiple.
This is another one of those ones where like I generally feel what she's saying.
Yeah.
But like, you know, obviously I don't know every single angle of the situation, but I feel what she's saying, and you know, she's feeling a little bit more gangsta in this in her cadence and how she presents herself in this song.
And the beat is dope. I love the beat as well.
But it's definitely not the one that I'm like. I'm not going to be the one to bang that at when we're hanging out with all my girlfriend's friends.
Yeah.
I put that one on.
Yeah.
Am I right?
They hear me. They feel me.
I don't know. It could go off too. I don't know. Like it could.
All my sexist friends that I have out there. Ouchies was another like fight track.
Yeah, kind of aggressive.
Gave me
aggressive tone.
Missy Elliott feel.
Yeah. I not really much to dive into with this one, really. It's just kind of a aggressive rap track.
I just generally like the energy and the feel.
Yeah. I think she carries it. She's like really energetic and really like her flows and her charisma is like. I said it before, but it kind of carries a lot of the album. Not carries, but it.
But it's not the best track, really. No, it's more just the idea that she's fighting people. Mm-hmm. And she's coming for people's throats.
Yeah.
Don't you ever come for me! Or she says something like that. 97.
I love this one personally. Again, the beat is crazy, kind of like the halted kind of like kicks in it are crazy.
That was one where it's like, okay, this is a beat that you have to have skill to rap over. Yeah. Like
and she has like a good poppy kind of almost chorus to it. It's not poppy chorus, but like a sung chorus as well to it. Looks like we don't give a shit.
Yeah,
like
she's doing almost a K-Dot voice.
Yeah, I was getting almost like Section 80 vibes from this one a little bit, like in terms of the beat as well.
Yeah, it's not the type of beat that I wouldn't necessarily expect to hear Doja rap over. Yeah. But I think she did a good job on it.
I like the carefree, like rebellious attitude of the song as well. And she kind of gets more into... So I think she's kind of referencing her, like, how she doesn't love her fans kind of tweet, or like, it might have been on Threads or whatever the fuck that was. And how, like, she's still going to get the click, she's still going to get views, she's still going to get plays, like, it doesn't matter. But I think it does because this, like, I remember saying to my girlfriend, like, before the album dropped, that we're gonna be surprised about how well Doja Cat sells. The amount of albums is sold first week.
Yeah,
and it sold 70K, which is like overall good, but like her last album sold, I think, almost double, and people were expecting it to be a lot higher than it did. Not that sales are everything, obviously, but it is like an indicator of like, did she piss off a lot of fans with that? Did she alienate her fans? Or was it more so because, I mean, she marketed the album a whole lot, but like, was it more so because it had no features? It was going to be all rap. The singles didn't quite hit, other than Paint the Town Red. There's a lot of different factors it could be, but like, maybe she did alienate some fans here, and like, because I think some of the fan pages on Twitter also like kind of redirected their focus to like other shit because they were pissed off about that as well. Like, that was one of the bigger controversies as of late.
That was I read a couple of things about that, and there was one where it was like, she was basically saying in this big Threads thing she went on, that like these people walking around calling themselves kittens,
right?
Like, because
and she didn't like the
Doja Cat fan base.
Fucking name, yeah.
And she basically said, like, if you're like, you know, 30 years old and you're calling yourself that, like, you know, maybe like you should be helping your parents like with the house, and you should be like, you know, doing like. Basically, just get a life if you're so dedicated to this that it's your whole thing. And somebody had as their screen name, like, her government name, like Doja Cat's full government name, and she was like, "That's so creepy and so weird. Like, don't do that." Like,
no, I understand. Like, that's the thing. Like, it's.
I think that, like, I was almost convinced listening to this that, like, maybe Doja Cat is doing her best to try to deprogram some of these people that are
the parasocial relationships are ruining their fucking lives.
Yeah, their parasocial things.
They have no actual real life friends that are not a real life because they're just so obsessed with these online celebrities.
And one of the things I read about in the thing was about how she was in like Paraguay or something, and the fans wanted her to come out of the hotel room and greet them, but she didn't because she didn't feel like it. And then she went to Brazil later and did the same. So like there. And I was reading about that. I was thinking, that's so minuscule. Like, these people are on tour. It's a grind.
Work.
It's a slog.
And I'm sure her tours are like really choreographed, and like there's a lot of hard work that goes into it.
Where is this cancellation coming? Like, it starts to feel like it's a bunch of bullshit at some point.
I've said this before about other artists as well, but like, I think it remains true universally. Like, if the worst thing somebody could be accused of is kind of being an asshole sometimes, I think that's a blessing.
That's
like,
not that bad.
That's pretty. I would consider that to be a blessing, to be honest. Like, cause especially now, the post Me Too movement shit is that, like, if the worst thing you could accuse somebody is being rude to fans.
Yeah.
And that's the lowest thing on the totem of like things to be canceled for.
Yeah, exactly.
Like being impolite.
And being polite and being a fucking human being who has bad days.
All these artists like don't owe you anything. Like, they give you the music, they give you the tours, they give you this, like, they don't owe you anything extra.
Yeah.
Like,
and
it's selfish to think otherwise.
And kind of to connect what we were saying beforehand about how these people build the fan base over a specific thing, but then they grow and they change and they want it to be different. And if half my followers have to unfollow me because I took this hard stance on this thing, so be it. Like, you keep moving on in life, and you.
I don't think she's addressed the lower expected sales or anything. So I'm curious if that's what she expected, or if that's something that she wants. Maybe she doesn't want the fame like that anymore.
I mean, economically, like, she'll be fine.
Yeah, and she's got it. Yeah,
she's about to go on another tour. I think.
Yeah, and I'm sure it'll be Yeah, I'm sure it'll
with
sell
like
out.
Dochi and like
Ice Spice.
Ice Spice.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Like, that'll be a
man.
huge tour.
It's gonna be great. Yeah, it's gonna. Yeah.
For as far as like female
we
rap,
should go. We should try. I think
going
it's
on right
November.
now,
we should go.
she is kind of still at the top of the game as far as like
Yeah.
female rap / pop star that has a lot of. Yeah, I mean, I don't think her spot is really. It's not like she's completely falling out of popularity or anything.
Yeah.
Next track I liked a lot, Gun.
This one, it didn't really get me. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of some of her old stuff and like how just like filled with sexual innuendos kind of thing, like referencing penis and gun in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, I like when she said, "I can make the dick go gratata."
Another is that also a reference to a fucking 10-year-old meme of the gratata guy?
Gratata. No, I thought it was funny. It was like one of those I couldn't figure it out exactly, but then once I like heard the lyric enough times,
Like, oh, she's talking about penis.
Oh, it's a sex song.
No, I don't know. I wasn't a huge fan of this one. It's not bad, but
I liked it, and I liked really the next like couple songs were all good in my book.
I don't really like the next one that much either. Go Off. I don't know. It does also kind of remind me of her older stuff, but like, I don't know. It just didn't grab me.
I was feeling like at that point, like the energy from the beginning part of the album was starting to fade off a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought that Go Off painted a decent portrait of just like what it's like to be a female in the world,
Right.
and
well, apparently this song, like, according to Genius, so this is anyone can edit that shit. It's like kind of about her hairstylist or something who always used to say like "Go off, girl, go off," and that's kind of what some of the lyrics are about referencing. And I'm like, didn't need it to me. You know, I don't need a song about a hairstylist, but again, yeah, it's not you know, it's not even that deep either, probably. But
you just wouldn't get it because you don't have a hairstylist.
No, I need one though. Yeah, again, not a bad song,
Facts.
but just not that. Didn't do anything for me really.
I liked Shut Show a lot, actually. That was a good song.
Yeah, I like that one.
Almost a Thanksgiving chorus.
How
Got
so?
a lot of things to be happy about.
Yeah.
Check up when they run their mouth.
Yeah, a little bit more of a kind of a popular inflection she's going with in this one. We're starting to see a little at this point in the album, like not just like hard rap stuff, just getting a little bit more into the poppier stuff.
But I thought that like I liked the more laid back style of that track.
Yeah.
And the flow where she's like, "This that weird swag, weird money, weird man." Like she was just having fun with it, you know. And,
yeah, and it's all just kind of a track about like how she wants some of her more toxic fans to just shut the fuck up, shut your mouth,
shut your goofy ass up, and that's something that I often say to Andrew.
It's true.
When he's trying to go off.
If anyone knows me, I'm pretty goofy guy.
Agora Hills, I really like this one.
Highlight of the album here.
Dream pop kind of vibe.
But also, is she biting it for contemporaries here? She kind of does a Kilo Quiche inflection on the first verse. Or, like, Morgan referred to it as a California accent, almost.
Yeah, it's a Valley Girl voice that she's doing. I just really liked it.
I really liked it, too. But the first thing I heard,
really
I'm like,
funny.
who is... Like, this sounds like someone. And then I came to me, oh, yeah, Kilo Quiche kind of has the same...
Something different about you. Love it when you're hitting the tattoos. Suck a little dick in the bathroom.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah.
Who's that man with the big, strong hands? With the... yeah, like...
no, you got it. Go off.
I'm not going to do
off.
Oh, man. Now I have to do karaoke.
Again.
Yeah, I have to do it like 50 times in a row. Like I'm bleeding by the last time.
Well, you did the karaoke for the... What was that song?
Because I Got High.
Because I Got High. That's right.
Yeah, no, like, on that one, I think she really tapped into a specific dreamy rap pop thing, but it was also kind of on some funny shit, like with how...
Yeah, she has some funny bars.
The song cuts into like this, like she's like this
on the phone
dramatic
with
girl
someone,
on the phone and being like,
"Why are you capping? You're always capping to me." Yeah.
Just like having fun with it in this sort of like, you know, feels like an episode, feels like the movie Mean Girls kind of or whatever.
Yeah.
Like playing around with these issues of like femininity and being in a relationship and stuff.
Yeah,
but also kind of making fun of the whole.
Yeah, I got a lot.
I'm in this tragic romance thing or whatever. Like kind of making fun of that a bit.
I got a lot of as well. Like references to like just having a relationship and wanting to like just tell everyone about it because you're so excited and happy and stuff, but also like wanting to keep it private, and like the duality of her being a celebrity and have it like the boyfriend is gonna be like a topic of discussion, but like also wanting to keep him private and just to herself. Like there's some ideas there.
Regardless of where you stand on her actual boyfriend, I thought it was like an interesting track about the subject.
Yes, and it might not even be written about like this. She could have written this, had this song a year ago. Who knows?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, love it or hate it.
Yeah. A few bars I want to highlight here. Boys be mad that I don't fuck incels. I thought was good. And well, all right, fire or trash. Another one. Like Fortnite, I'ma need your skin.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
Pacings?
I didn't
That's
hear.
fire.
I didn't hear the song, so I don't know the
Just
context.
the bar.
Just the bar.
To remove everything else from it.
Fortnite, instantly.
Instantly trash. Okay, all right.
And right after she says something about like, you and me are my only fans. Like,
Yeah. Do you think there's any meaning to, like, in the second verse, she kind of switches between the Valley Girl accent and, like, her regular rapping kind of voice? Do you think there's, like, a dual personality type of thing going on there? I couldn't quite wrap my head around, like, if that had any sort of extra meaning. I mean, it's a pop rap cut, so it might not. But
I don't know. I don't know
curious.
if it's worth the analyzing. So I'm just gonna completely dead that topic of conversation.
All right, next song. Can't wait. I like this one quite a bit.
There's this kind of corny line about farming or something.
Oh yeah, like if you were a farmer, I would harvest all your vegetables and stuff. And I'm like, all right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll cancel your current boyfriend because that was a bit much.
This one, like it's catchy. I really like the beat.
No, I thought it was a good like R&B / rap jam.
But also this one's all about. I would assume her current boyfriend. Which makes it kind of... This is where it's kind of getting to the point where it's like...
It was getting a bit cloying, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly.
But I thought...
She's sipping a little hard for this guy.
Good quality, like, chorus for it and everything.
Yeah, me too.
And the overall style, like, this whole, like, section of the album then kind of gets into a more jazzy... Like, you know, they were joking about it, but like we did kind of get an experimental jazz album,
little bit,
a little bit near
Slightly.
this half of the album, and I thought it was interesting, like how she managed to fit all these different moods in one album, and I'm not sure if it totally all works together.
Exactly,
but it kept my interest, more so than if you're just putting Planet Her on in the background or whatever.
Right.
Like
especially the next one. This next song often is like kind of a strange beat.
Yeah.
And it's not really. It's almost like an R&B song. Like she's not really rapping on it. But it's interesting for sure.
Thundercat.
I don't quite know what to.
Thundercat puts his imprint on that one.
Is he actually on the song?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, dope.
And you can hear his voice a little bit. Like halfway through, there's sort of a switch up.
Interesting.
And you can. I don't know, maybe play it for a sec just to make sure I'm not completely putting disinfo out there. If I'm not putting more Russian propaganda out there into the world.
Not anymore. I can't take it, man.
The Russians and Doja Cat have... Like,
Doja Cat, take your troops out of eastern Ukraine right now.
Call it the Taylor Swift.
Those stands are crazy, man. They'll do anything for her.
Yeah,
I can see the bass being.
That's even Thundercat's bass, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, I didn't peep that. I also heard apparently there was, so either there is or there's supposed to be an Alchemist beat on this. I don't know. I didn't really look into the producers of this album that much, so I'm not sure if he is. I've also heard that maybe it's going to be on the deluxe, if there is going to be such a thing.
An Alchemist, Doja Cat.
Yeah,
I thought it was 97. That beat sounded the most Alchemisty to me. To be honest,
we'll do a quick fact check. And we'll cut it if we're wrong.
Love Life, I thought that was a highlight in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that one quite a bit.
A letter to the fans and the losers and the haters at the same time. And I thought
it's a bit
of maturing and growth as far as like I like growing and I like being able to change and make mistakes and realize my flaws and move on and I thought a decent way of kind of...
And so,
like, winning back the trust of maybe some people that
Yeah, some decent introspection at this point in the album is good.
Like
kind of change of pace.
Yeah, this is where you would do that in the album.
Yeah, for the people that actually care and like get throughout, don't just skip to the point where they get like a good chorus. Like
like if you actually want to really give me a chance and not just jump onto the bandwagon of canceling me, you'll listen to this. That's kind of the vibe I was getting.
Yeah, I think it's good rapping too. Good beat, positive track overall.
Just embracing change, and there's a bar I liked about roasting and being roasted at the same time, kind of thing. Like
her friend, with her friends,
getting to that point of being comfortable in life to where, like, I something that I've noticed as well about like how I would find that I always have the best time when, during the course of a night, we're all ripping on somebody, but then eventually everyone's all ripping on me. Yeah. Just because then I feel things are more balanced out. No one's walking around with a huge ego, feeling like, oh, I never get cut down or made fun of. Or you have to worry
about like, oh, did I actually upset that person? Like from how far we.
No, that's that is one of the true great things of that you can get in life if you use honesty in the right way. You know, like not to hurt people, but truly to just get the truth out there.
I'm trying to get better at that personally, of like taking the roast and not having it be a personal fucking like attack on myself. It's like, it's just
just not be to be unbothered by
exactly. I'm trying to get better at that for sure. Because in the past, it's definitely some shit has bothered me, but like not as much.
But then you start to think, wait, I say shit about people.
Oh yeah, all the time.
I say horrible things. So then, if no one's ever like. If I'm never the one getting shit on, then something's not good. It can lead to a complete distortion of reality. Yeah.
Next song is Skull and Bones. A lot of more kind of addressing the Satanist rumors on this one, to me. I don't have anything written down specifically about it. I think it's a decent...
Really just kind of classic rap shit.
Yeah.
Talking about her...
isn't too bad.
Talking about her image change a little bit and explaining a little bit what it's all about. Mm-hmm. Attention was her first one that she put out
a few episodes ago.
It does sound a bit different now, like in the context of the album.
I think it works better in the context. Like it fits well
in a good way.
It might not have been a great like lead single, but it does fit in the context of the album for sure.
Yeah, that probably wouldn't have been my first one that I would put out.
Paint the Town Red is the obvious one, and maybe Agora Hills even, but I think like it's important for artists of her caliber to have a single that pops off post-album, Like, not just have the good songs before the album, and then the album comes out, and then it's crickets. Like, having a song that pops off because the album came out, I think is important. Probably for marketing. The label as well.
Yeah. Last couple tracks here.
Yeah. Ballot, I'm not entirely sure.
I kind of forget this one a little bit. I just remember
it's like taking candy from a baby.
Oh yeah, that was like on some old school like.
Yeah, I like the boom bap kind
Outcast,
of beat. Yeah,
like it kind of reminded me of.
And do you think that
and
like?
Me,
a little bit.
Like kind of. Yeah.
And she has here as well being like she admits that she copies from the greats. Like she has taken influence from Nicki Minaj and like Missy Elliott and Lauryn Hill. Like she doesn't say the name specifically, but she's like kind of being like. You kind of have to, like, that's just, like, part of the game. Like, don't hate me for that shit, like...
you have to pull your influences from somewhere.
Yeah, the best art is imitation. Isn't it thing? Best form of flattery is through imitation, I guess, is one of the quotes.
Imitation is the best form.
Yes.
It also gives you more credibility when you have other songs about just, fuck everybody, fuck all these haters, fuck this.
Yeah, exactly.
To also be like, no, but, like, it's not fuck everyone.
Yeah, I
like,
respect the game.
I didn't just come out of nowhere. I was
of course.
Influenced by lots of things, so... And I respect that. There's a Ric Flair intro thing, which I was like, this is definitely like of all the tracks that could have had West Side Gun on it. This is the one.
That would be interesting.
West Side Gun, Doja Cat. I'm wishing this into existence. It could honestly even work pretty well. I think their style.
What do you think about this? Post Malone revealed that he has a collab with West Side Gun coming out soon.
Oh fuck!
So that's going to be a big one on the podcast.
Do. It's like doing the do
over acoustic guitar.
She's like he's warbling, doing his warble voice.
Yeah, jeez. We'll review it. Don't worry.
That's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I can't wait till that.
That's gonna be interesting. New West Side Gun album as well is out now. Probably by the time this is posted. That's stacked. What You Mean freestyle is the last one. Just kind of a hard show off, kind of nothing really too specific about it, but just kind of a.
I thought
it's an interesting outro track. I might not have ended it with it. Like I think Baloo was a better like outro overall, but like it's not bad.
That was kind of the real outro, and the freestyle is kind of like a post credit scene of just like I like how it kind of deflates a little bit of like the. Seriousness. Whatever self-seriousness was.
Yeah, she's kind of joking around with the beat, like "fuck this beat," and then talk about her toes at the end and like a weird like. But yeah, overall, I mean, I think she did what she set out to do, and it turned out pretty well. And there's a decent amount of like pop rap crossover. Like I think people that are standoffish towards this album because they think it's going to be all rap. Like I think there's enough in here for at least some of those people to. Come out with some songs.
I mean, the rap songs, they still have pop choruses.
Yeah, and there's still some sung stuff, like...
And, it's like we're kind of drawing, like, weird lines in the sand now. Like, a great rapper can have all kinds of versatility to their sound and try to push it in new directions, and I think she did that in this situation.
I think overall, the album, like, I understand why she wanted to do no features. I think it maybe could have helped to have, like, some... pretty big contemporary rappers, like actual rappers instead of pop stars, like on here to kind of like pit her against and like kind of showcase her abilities a little bit more, like rapping with someone like JID. I mean, she's had a song with JID before, but that was more of a pop track. I think I could have used that. I mean, but I think maybe there might be a deluxe coming. I don't really know, but we'll see. Maybe by the time this is out.
It's funny how you mentioned that at the end, and I didn't even really think about how there was no features on this album until now, but that's probably a good sign about
that it's pretty good.
It kept my my attention. Sorry,
I'm not saying it needed features, but I don't know. One of my favorite aspects of rap is the collaborations and shit. So it's like I think it would have been nice. I've said that before about a bunch of other albums, but it's also not necessarily needed at the same time. So.
All right.
Women. They're good at rapping.
Women, good or bad?
Tough to tell.
Depends.
I don't know. Depends on the frame of mind.
Depends how big the boobs are. We are sponsored by bras.
Let's put them on.
Bro!
Just had an idea.
Oh, what's that?
Drag cast?
I just had an idea.
What else we got here?
Look, if you're not willing to tuck the penis, then I don't know if you're really a podcaster.
It's true.
You need to be able to tuck your
probably
penis
showing
behind
full
your balls.
right now in these sweats.
That's my least favorite thing about male podcasting is the ones where the camera's down there and the guys are sitting in these chairs.
Yeah. Why do you need to show underneath the table during a podcast?
And it's like all about how wide their spread is.
Yeah.
It's literally man horse shit. And
it's a man move. It's a misogyny move. It's like it's man spreading. It's toxic.
You're toxically invading the space that could be occupied by women or people of color.
Yeah.
But speaking of
people with
speaking of there's no transition here.
Vic Mensa, is that what we want to do? Vic next?
Victor
is
Bartholomew Mensa.
We'll try not to go as long with this one. But there is a lot to say. So
we have been going
an hour 14.
Yeah.
Victor Mensa. Let's give a little history lesson here. Vic Mensa, Chicago, Illinois, came up in the Chance the Rapper sphere of
Chicago sound
influences, which was, if we're once again doing a little history lesson on different sounds and how they've evolved.
Yeah.
Since we got into rap 10, 15 years ago. Chance kind of blew up in 2012, 13.
Yeah.
And he featured Vic Mensa on a lot of his early work.
Yep.
I think Vince already had a buzz going, or not Vic Mensa. He already had his own buzz going.
His 2013 tape called Internet Tape is pretty much like if you liked acid rap, it's like an acid rap light. Like he's pretty much like doing the same exact sound as that. Like it's a nasally kind of voice. It's the same kind of sound, same kind of themes.
Yeah.
But he had features from like Thundercat and Absol, but other people, I'm sure. I don't remember off the top of my head. But he kind of came in, with Chance and Saba as well. It was around for that kind of era as well.
And it is a very interesting like subsection of the sound of 2010's rap that had its own a life of its own sort of. Yeah. And definitely had its roots in some of the earlier Chicago artists like Kanye West and Common. Yeah. And whatever fucking Talib Kweli or whatever, like the conscious era of rap, and mixed in with the elements of drill and other scenes that came up in that era. But like Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa, his profile has diminished in recent years. Yeah,
I mean, because there was a huge amount of hype for him post 2013. There was an album called Traffic that he was releasing singles for. It was supposed to be really good. He was performing some songs live, and it was like people were really hyped. He was kind of a Kanye protege at one point. He had a song "You Mad."
He wrote All Day. He
wrote All Day. Really,
he was involved in the writing of All Day.
That's dope. He would the Wolves song as well on SNL. That was a huge moment for him.
A verse that was cut, I think, from the original version of the album.
And then added back. That's the version that I have of Life of Pablo. Is the one with him on it because I do really like his contribution to that song.
Collabs with Kanye, "You Mad" was a good song.
And he got signed to Rockefeller Records with Jay-Z, and Jay-Z was like during one of his album listening parties, Jay-Z like brought him introduced him, and he was like he's a really talented guy kind of thing. And now like they probably don't. He probably doesn't pick up his calls anymore. Like it's probably a pretty strained relationship between Jay-Z and Vic Mensa.
But that was one thing I liked about this new album, which is actually the first Vic Mensa album I've really fully given the time.
I've been a fan like since.
But you've been a
way
fan.
back, 2013 maybe 14.
But one thing I liked about there's the sense that like I'm still in Chicago. I'm still with my original people, and I'm following my own path, and the money and the fame, it came and went. Yeah. And it is interesting. I find as similar to the Doja Cat album, I found the lyrical content of this new album to be very interesting. Yeah. I thought the sound wasn't always there for me. Right. And there were definitely some tracks I didn't like. Yeah. But as far as reflecting on his career, a lot of interesting things. So there was a whole thing where he went punk.
Yes, the album 93 Punk or some 93X or some shit. It was terrible.
It was horribly reviewed. Yeah. Apparently he was doing punk music before he even became a rapper.
He was doing like some kind of rocky. He was in a band called Kids These Days that apparently like online is very touted. Is that proper?
Highly touted, yeah.
Highly touted as being like some of his best work, like even before Internet Tape, like 2013, was some of that kind of jazzy Donny Trumpet kind of stuff. Right. So he's always been kind of a multi-genre kind of guy.
But that speaks to his strengths and like the versatility that this whole Chicago sound had. Good. Yeah, exactly. With Donny Trumpet and then the like
Yeah, and then he had the tape Hooligans, which kind of flopped as well. And just a few flops in a row that kind of and the whole people got really pissed off at the whole. He was on a BET Cypher one year and he dissed XXX right after he died while his mom was in the audience, and a lot of people fucking just like a lot of distaste towards him for that, even though he was X isn't above dissing. Like he was he was a bad guy for a long time.
Yeah, the official Rapcast stance is that he was an abuser. Yes. And there are definitely like rules of decorum about how we address things, and we obviously don't want to be like dissing on people's mothers right in front of them. Yeah. But he did say something important that like he made.
And no one else was saying it. He made a bold statement. Yeah, and it didn't go in his favor, but like he still did it.
But I think that speaks to kind of why his profile diminished to a degree. Yeah, for sure. As far as like the way he speaks his mind, turned off a lot of people.
And he started getting really political. I think my favorite tape of his is the one called "There's a Lot Going On" from 2016. I think Internet Tape in 2013 might still be my favorite, but like this is kind of his own sound. There's a lot going on, and even the V and I tapes that came out last year that were really good are more political leaning, or more just like conscious and stuff, and talking about real world issues. Where that's kind of the Vic that I have grown to really like over the years. That he's adapted over the years to like kind of being a Chance clone to a bit, kind of fumbling and not really knowing where he wanted to be genre wise. He was doing some like kind of club hits as well back in the day. But I think where he landed in the political kind of stuff, conscious stuff, is where I really kind of resonated. It resonated with me pretty hard. But there's a bunch of it on this new tape as well. But I'll say this new tape, Victor, as a Vic Mensa fan, I think it was a little bit disappointing because I think what you said about it before about how like a lot of it's about like I'm still here, like we're still going, the Chicago sound kind of stuff. A lot of that was kind of echoed from his 2018-17, his debut album, The Autobiography, was a lot about like how like I'm still alive, I'm still here, we're still going type shit. Whereas this is kind of the same thing 6-7 years later, and not much has changed, you know?
Okay. So yeah, that is definitely crucial knowing that about his previous.
Yeah, as a Vic fan, it didn't quite blow me away, and there was a lot of to me what turned me off most about this album is like some of the kind of more some of the beat choices, or just kind of I don't know, like some of the kind of trappier hype type songs. I just don't think are really his strong suit to me. Yeah, let's get into it. We won't. Yeah, try not to go too much into it, but we'll highlight some tracks here for sure. I think it starts off with a solid intro, short and sweet Sunday morning intro. Talks about kind of his sobriety, finding religion, you know, getting help, getting better.
I thought it
mentally.
was good quality poetry to a degree.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, there's a line where he's like, "Sometimes I feel invincible. Sometimes I feel invisible."
Yes. Yeah. That's a very kind of
where if you take that out of context, it does sound corny, but like, within the context of his whole thing, like he does.
Yeah. I'll let it slide.
Yeah, like it's a compelling message overall still.
And I believe that he believes that, you know, I believe that he did feel that way, you know?
No, but like I got where he was going with that one.
Yeah.
I thought it, like the intro tracks definitely like they piqued my interest at least.
The next one, Victor. I'm not a big fan of this one. I do like this one, but like not as much as I probably should. I don't know, like the horn bass kind of triumphant beat. I'm just kind of over. Maybe it's because of the whole fucking what was that one Lil Nas X Jack Harlow song? Like
dun, dun,
yeah,
dun,
just that whole beat. Yeah, the whole using horns in trap beats. I'm kind of sick of it right now. I don't know. Maybe that's just more of a personal thing for me. I think it's a solid tune overall.
Well, I felt like on this album he was really trying to have at least 5 or 6 of them for the more lit part of the concert when he's doing the live part.
Yeah.
It definitely had a good kind of street energy towards it.
Right. What do you think of
it kind of felt like a J. Cole song to a degree, though.
A little bit. Yeah.
With the way he was yelling.
Right.
I've got the back on top.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's a decent anthem, you know. But not one of my favorites necessarily. What do you think about the bar? Gon' bust her down if she let us. Romanian. Romaine lettuce.
Yeah, no. He said that. He said that to rhyme with like Australian too. So like wasn't even that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that strong?
Yeah.
Trash or Fire, like the singing part at the end. Where he's like, and
I am a bit of a sucker.
Moments of my life.
He has better singing performances. I'm a bit of a sucker for his kind of singing stuff a little bit, but not one of his best performances. But I appreciate it that it's there. It kind of it fills out the song nicely, I think.
Yeah, like that's if you're gonna do the soaring vocals thing, like you have to do it on that intro tracks to kind of like.
Build up.
I'm here and I'm back and I'm a beautiful singer. Check it out.
Yeah.
But like he's talented as far as like a song with multiple parts with you know choruses, everything sung.
Yeah,
by
it gets
him.
into his legal troubles and stuff in here as well. Like there's meaning in here as well. Next song, Rumors. It's I don't know why it's here really. It's 50 seconds long. It's a
Farrakhan
one rap
speech.
verse. There is a Farrakhan. There's multiple Farrakhan samples in here.
Famous anti-Semite Louis Farrakhan. Yeah, we'll get into it farther on the Jay Leck song. Yes. But let's just move on. Leveling Up.
This one's weak to me. It's just he's trying to do a trap banger. It just doesn't really work. I don't know. Not a big fan of it.
We get into a little bit more of how he's like, they all said I was the dope man, so I started a weed brand.
Yeah. He is talking a lot about his new weed brand on here.
Yeah, it's
and even on the Mick Jenkins album that I listened to as well.
He even gives a shout out to his brand on that one too.
Yeah, a few times.
Because he was in some legal issues because they found weed.
An insane amount of acid when he was in Ghana with Chance the Rapper. And he was trying to smuggle like an insane,
honestly,
hundreds of pounds of acid across the country, and somehow he's not in jail.
We might be getting into some conspiracy stuff here, but like that whole thing where a bunch of rappers all went to Ghana and they went and met with presidents and stuff, that whole thing had very CIA vibes towards the whole thing. They're trying to have influence in Africa, and they're using all these black celebrities to like do the will of the United States, whatever they want to do.
That, what was it, Grateful Dead or whatever theory was it? In the 60s.
Yeah, that they were CIA agents.
Really?
And, like, why did they have all that acid? Like, how did they get all of it? Like, it went straight from the government labs to like now it's everyone has it. Like, anyway,
to me personally, I think Chance and Vic were just trying to get more in touch with their roots, and I think Chance, like, it had to do with his album rollout that was happening at some point last year.
At the end of the day, it's no hate on for the visit to Africa. I just found it to be kind of, there's just like these kind of slightly suspect
Who knows?
things.
Yeah, there could be something. Yeah, the fact that he's not in jail for 10 years at least,
and he's rapping about, I'm talking with the African presidents. I got a plan for the continent. It's like, like maybe they have their own plans for some guy from Chicago is going to come and explain to these.
Yeah,
I don't know. It seemed a little bit like.
Yeah,
but
fair.
A little Bono.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Weeping Poets, it's just these Farrakhan verses, these clips from Farrakhan, like, they're boring. Like, Jay Electronica...
It doesn't add anything.
Like, when he did his own album, like, he picked, like, more interesting sound bites from him, and... Although I don't...
Interesting in what sense?
Look, I do not subscribe to the beliefs of the Nation of Islam or anything, but I think that Jay Electronica is an interesting artist who does... And
a technically very good rapper.
And he does great verses about where he's painting these pictures of, like, history and religion and politics, and I think that he's a great rapper, but this verse was not it, and the beat was not it.
Overall, I didn't think... I think Vic's parts was okay. It didn't... I don't know if they have great chemistry.
Even Farrakhan probably had better speeches than that.
Yeah.
I'm not even a scholar on the whole thing, but I can tell. And just nothing new from the Jay Electronica verse. Like,
yeah, it was just like, it's for better or for worse, it's a Jay Elect verse. Like, it's nothing...
it could have been crazy. AI generated.
But at least it wasn't, like, spewing outright hatred towards the Jewish people.
No. More on that later.
I'll take it, I guess.
Swear... it's not like a terrible song, but it just annoys. It just annoyed me.
It didn't. Again, another kind of trap-based song that just didn't really like. I'm just at this point in the album, 6 songs in, I only have like one or two songs that I really like. Like, I'm getting a little bit worried in my first listen. I'm like,
He's just saying "swear" in this way that really annoys me. He's like, I swear,
I swear,
I swerve, and then something like that.
Yeah,
it's just.
And the next song, "Swish," we've talked about before. Chance the Rapper, G-Eazy. It's kind of fun, but also like. This isn't 2017 anymore. What are you doing with the G-Eazy, Chance the Rapper, Vic Mensa song, you know?
Honestly, I think it's fun just for,
It's a fun track. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Guys in their older 20s like me,
like, hey, remember...
We like this shit. Whatever.
Yeah.
If you want to hear Chance the Rapper saying the word bitch again.
Yeah, and sandwich. saying sandwich.
Chance is on his problematic era again.
Yeah, I'm for it. G-Eazy's eye.
They went to Africa. They came back and they're ready to take over.
Came back with a white boy, and they're fucking fucking.
They brought G-Eazy out to Africa with them.
Yeah, it's fucking all these like native African artists like doing their shit. G-Eazy comes out.
G-Eazy comes up in his leather jacket.
Yeah. God.
I love Gerald.
Oh man, so fun.
We are gonna have him. I feel like he's gonna go get low enough to the point where he'll be on the Rapcast.
Yeah, he should be. Gerald, if you're listening.
Yeah, and we are going to act like such fans.
Oh, I am a fan.
Like, we've never said anything negative about him.
Next song is one of my favorites, I think.
I agree.
Sunset on the Low End.
Good performance.
Yeah, really great singing as well. Introspective shit. Beats fire. Outro switch up is nice. Like, just overall, really well-rounded track.
Yeah, he it's just like an emotional performance. Gave me like old school Drake vibes to a degree, but
Yeah, I can see that.
it's one of those things where like I don't know who originated the sound or if it just happens that Vic Mensa and Drake they went in different directions, but like Vic Mensa still kind of raps like that to a degree.
Right.
I just mean about like I'm a sensitive guy type stuff. Like,
yeah, kind of corny, but also kind of like, kind of sweet.
But like I like how I like the lines on that song about like different streets in Chicago, and it just kind of gives me this like I feel like I can kind of picture it.
It paints a picture, yeah.
Even though I don't know what they're talking about, they're saying, "Oh, well, I'm on 89th and 67th Street or whatever." Like, how are you to have that many streets? How big is this fucking city?
Yeah, pretty big.
I'm on 97th Street.
Yeah.
You have 97 streets.
New York has even more to blow your mind.
Dude, I'm
I
used
like
to
when the streets had no name, Another
Dude.
YouTube reference.
Speaking of Bono.
The next track, like from here, the next bit of tracks I really enjoy. Strawberry Louis Vuitton, I think, was a great single with Thundercat. It's a nice, sweet, dope beat. Music video was cool. Kind of love track.
Yeah, that one's been earworming around in my head a little bit for sure.
But we talked about that one a while back. Southside Story's the next one. I like this one as well. It's a nice ode to the city of Chicago and kind of references his childhood, growing up there, the kind of duality of how he really enjoyed growing up there, but also there's a lot of violence and there's a lot of like bad shit that went on in his childhood. But he still like reminisces on it in kind of a fun way.
It's a good throwback to the conscious era of rap. I don't know. It's like slightly cringy a little bit but it's kind of just it's because it's from a different time, or it's about a different time. Mm-hmm. It's more of a throwback.
Yeah.
Common is the guy to have on there.
Even if it's just speaking some shit, some nonsense.
This is actually the strongest part of the album.
Yeah. Law of Karma is the next track. Not much to say about it, but I just think it's another dope kind of introspective track. He's spitting on it.
This is a more of a confessional thing as well about his past and his shortcomings.
Yep.
He kind of put into perspective the comment he made about X.
Yeah.
And how he felt hypocritical even himself with how he had a past of violence towards women
abuse himself. Yeah, and he's really gone into very much heavy details in past albums about like painting the picture of him abusing a woman. But he's a lot better now, so
not anymore. Yeah, no.
Scrapping the rest of the segment. Mainly emotional abuse, if that makes it any better to anyone out there.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It really doesn't.
It really don't.
Okay.
But like he's
owned up to it, unlike a lot of other rappers.
He's not afraid to get into the bad things he's done in the past, and I respect that. Blue Eyes, I think, was another interesting conscious track. A little bit, he gets into his own internalized racism that he experienced,
and mental health struggles as well.
He says something on the album about like suicide notes from a light-skinned kid on the south side or whatever, like about his own past and his own perception of himself being black, and like he wanted to have blue eyes growing up or whatever, and like he realizes where that came
race
from.
Is like that. I don't know if his dad is white or his mom is black or vice versa, but like not feeling comfortable in his own skin, and like how his school that he used to go to, like when he was 5, like kind of labeled him as like mentally challenged, and he would like had been having suicidal thoughts like since he was 5 years old. Like it's fucked him up like,
insane,
his entire life. Like 5 years old, bro. Like
that's pretty heavy stuff to be talking about.
Pretty rough, man.
And just like as far as just a very mature track about a specific topic, and really getting into it. Mm-hmm. And Rhapsody has a very strong
great
verse
interlude on the next track. Yeah,
on the interlude,
much appreciated.
Giving her own. That's another great like female rapper out there that we should be. Giving more
I've
listen.
needed to go back and to listen to her discography, but I have a few songs saved here and there, like with prominent features. But she's dope. I love pretty much everything I hear from her. Sunday Morning Reprise, another kind of interlude track, short and sweet. He talks about in this track how apparently the song "Shelter" that came out last year with him and Chance the Rapper.
And Wyclef Jean.
Yeah, it was in the description of that was like a link to like get this guy Julius Jones free, who was like wrongly incarcerated or something like that. And he talked about how like the mission was successful and how he did end up actually like getting out of jail. So.
Oh wow.
And I'm assuming that like, and I hope that he wasn't in jail for like a good reason.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I hope it was just like some weed charges and he was wrong. It feels weird to say I hope he was wrongfully accused, but like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm getting at here?
Yeah, justice for people
yes.
unfairly locked up.
Yeah.
Which there's a lot of.
Yes.
All I Know.
Yeah, kind of basic and superficial lyrics to me. Didn't really do much.
I thought it was good. It was like a kind of comeback.
It brings the energy kind of back after a stretch of like more conscious, like slower, chiller tracks.
Yeah, it feels like the album is kind of bookended with all these like hype tracks, so that he has some stuff to play when he's at the beginning of the concert when everyone is like trying to turn up.
Yeah.
But like those tracks aren't.
I understand why they're on here, but they're just
good.
not. They're the low points for me.
I
just don't think he performs that style as well as his contemporaries.
I thought there was some decent kind of punchline-y lines on that one. Okay, about D'Angelo, how it feel, something. It says something about like the mob, and then he says like forget about it. Like it's like he's doing like a somewhat clever joke there.
Yeah, there's something. Yeah,
Blessings, sort of a gospel.
Smoke and Aunt Clemens. Yeah, positive motivational kind of gospel track. I think Vic's verse is pretty good.
The album overall at this point is kind of, I'm getting definitely kind of snoozy vibes.
Yeah, not my favorite track on here, but it's decent enough. I think the D-Smoke verse is alright, but it's just kind of a strange character, this D-Smoke guy. Because he's Sir from TDE's brother. He was on that singular season of that rap and that Rhythm and Flow show that had Cardi B, Chance the Rapper, and T.I. be judges for a rap like competition around the country, and he like won the whole thing. Sorry to spoil it out there, but it was like 3 years ago.
Spoiling an old season.
Yeah, but it was weird just to have him like, oh, he won the thing, even though like he's Sir's brother. Can't he just come on? Can't he just come up
just
naturally?
have his own career?
Can't he give it to someone that actually might need it more so? But it was just funny because there was this one guy who was like straight up like a Logic clone on there,
it's so funny.
And he like got pretty far. It was very funny.
Yeah, there's nepotism in the rap game, but if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have Baby Keem or Young Nudie.
Yeah, there you go. And who could go without?
Yeah, and Young Nudie's Peaches and Cream or Peaches and Eggplants song is really popped off this summer. That was the song of the summer in my opinion. I
don't know if I heard it a single time.
You don't know this?
No, I don't think so.
Oh,
is it with 21 Savage?
Yeah.
I may have heard it once or twice.
It's graphic sex song,
okay.
And then they actually just put out a remix with Lotto and Sexy Red. So the females are getting on board.
Let's go. My
wow. So now
Summer is All My Life by J. Cole and Lil Durk. Probably.
Wow, that's something we never talked about this summer, and we're just gonna let it go.
Yeah.
Next summer we'll have another thing.
Last outro or the last song here, the outro, 14 Days with Mr. Hudson. It serves as a good outro. It's simple, but it's like powerful enough. Like a lot of like passionate singing towards the end. Reflects
all
on
about
early stages
forgiveness.
Talks about sobriety and kind of forgiving himself, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I thought it works overall as a piece of music. Mm-hmm. Interesting subject matter.
And the last song is just a pop rap track with Ty Dolla $ign, Eastside Girl.
Not really that good.
I liked it. A lot of people did not like it, but I think it's decent.
But just overall thoughts are that he has interesting subject matter, interesting perspective, but for those who are into Vic Mensa, you've probably already heard some of these things.
Done better as well, to me. I don't mind him doing the kind of trappier hype stuff. I just think like it isn't his strongest kind of subgenre to be in, and he's done it a little bit better before with tracks like You Mad and some of the earlier stuff from that era. And I think when he's in his more political, kind of conscious, introspective kind of bag, that's where he shines, and it is on this album, but just, honestly, it put it into perspective nicely when you were like, yeah, he needs some hype songs to play for the tour or whatever. Which is like, yeah, you know what? Like I understand. Like it's understandable why he would have some of the songs on here. It's just not really my cup of tea coming from Vic. So a little bit disappointed.
Yeah.
But especially coming off of his last 2 EPs from last year, which I thought were really good. But it's not like a bad album, and I come out with a bunch of songs that I do like.
No, it's worthless. It's a listen for sure, and I guess like maybe not as much political stuff on this one as it being named after him, and more about specifically things happening with him in his life.
I appreciate the album a lot. It's just like not my favorite body of work from him, but still worth a listen for sure, like you said.
But for what it is, though, it is just kind of okay. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah, I think that wraps it up quite nicely.
We decided to get a little bit of a breather. Even though it's not really that hot in here, I was just I get cranky.
2 hours.
I get kind of cranky
being in this basement. You want to see him when he's cranky.
But we're here for you. Number one, the most important thing, the fans.
And it's time.
And we're not like Doja Cat. We're not gonna hate on you just because you call yourself number one Rapcast fans.
If anything, we'll send you some swag.
Yeah.
Which, at this point, might be a... We'll see. Or we're... Keep... Stay in tune.
I highly doubt it, because we gotta get a bunch of shit figured out first.
Yes.
I'm just saying, if you're Christmas shopping already, don't blow your whole load, because some Rapcast merch may be available by the time that I finish the sentence.
Damn.
So it's announced.
And it's live.
We are marking the occasion.
Come on, Wayne. Can you hear all these little micro noises?
Of Mr.
Oh, easily. What am I doing?
Mr. Dwayne Carter. He is gracing us once again with his presence.
Moolah.
41 years of age.
That's true. It always trips me up that he's 41 years old.
And he's just getting into his emo era. So don't even sleep on it. There's definitely going to be some emo tracks on a new album.
On Carter 6?
Yeah.
What are you referring to?
That's my prediction.
Yeah, maybe, unfortunately.
But
I didn't want a Carter 6. Can I just say that? I'm a big Wayne fan. I'm wearing a shirt right now if you're listening on Spotify or Apple Music.
Carter 3. Where does that fall in your Carter?
The best one. But I've only heard 2, 3. I never heard the first one. I've heard 2, 3, and 4, and 5.
Okay.
But 5 was a good ending, I think, for the series.
I have the CD in my car.
The vinyl is over there somewhere. And
you thought you wanted the book to be closed, but there's more tune for your head top.
It's open and it's Pandora's box with the amount of weird shit we got on this new Wayne mixtape, Fix Before the 6.
So this is sort of a appetizer, as it were.
And if it wasn't an appetizer, what kind of food would it be, Alex? In your opinion?
Some kind of Greek food. Last time I got an appetizer, I ordered it at a Greek restaurant, and they did not bring it.
They just didn't bring it, eh?
No, and we told them, and we got free dessert, and they were very nice to us. So luckily I didn't have to kill them. But I am gang.
You shot one in the knee, just as like a don't fuck with me again. Like I mean, come back here.
I have some friends from my past. Let's just say that.
Okay.
But yeah, that would be the appetizer. What about for you?
Some sort of calamari, but like not completely cooked. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what it would be for me.
We are like, as a rap podcaster, reviewer type person, I'm scrambling right now trying to come up with some kind of verdict on this new Lil Wayne mini mixtape.
Because it's bad, but I like it.
It's all over the place.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It has some of the cringiest, like, fresh moments of music, but sometimes those cringe moments are within a song that I think is great at the same time.
No, exactly.
We'll have a couple of additions to our ongoing discussion about poo bars, bars that are related to toilet humor and I'm the shit. I'm like diarrhea type bars.
Yeah. He's back and better than ever. Let's say
there are more Trasher Fires that we want to debut from this one for sure.
So let's stop pussyfooting around. And get into it. I have no.
But I'm excited for Carter 6.
I mean, I'm always excited for more Wayne. I'm like either way.
He's great.
I'm gonna look forward to it.
I saw a couple reactions early on of just like the first comment I saw on the academics thing is like just people saying this is booty.
Yeah.
This is ass. Or
yeah,
this
a lot
is
of
booty.
negative reviews. Did not sell very well whatsoever. I think he put out a best of mixtape or something this year that I randomly saw the CD for the other day in Toronto.
Yeah.
That apparently outsold this, which is like a new.
No,
Wayne
it's not
mixtape.
surprising. To be honest.
I mean, the hits of Wayne are almost
Of
unparalleled.
course, that's going to sell better.
Yeah. And this was like not advertised much at all. It was like a week before it dropped. It's like we're getting new Wayne.
I think, like, what's your theory on that? Like, are these just the stray loose ends of like songs that were like too out there to put on the album, but like they were still had enough.
It's the scraps.
Interests.
I think it's. I at least I hope it's the scraps. If this is a taste of what we're getting, we'll see how the album turns out. But I think I'm hoping that these are like, all right, the song is like 10 songs too. There's Carter 6, 10 songs too long. Let's cut out 10. Which are the ones? If these are the ones, then the rest of it I'm very excited for.
Right.
But
we'll see.
There's potential.
Act Up. It's funny to write songs about like that sound like this at the age of 41.
Yeah. Because you're not acting up. You're acting down because you're like probably shrinking at that age. Like, in a physical sense.
And like
slowly dying.
It's just so funny, like, he's saying, like, this is why I act this way, okay? Yeah. Mom, Dad, I act this way because of the way you treat me.
Yeah.
Okay? I've been brokenhearted by too many of these bitches and broads.
Yeah.
But, I was reading a little bit about his personal life, and he's dating, like, a plus-size model now. Since 2020.
I think he exclusively dates models and but then attractive people.
They almost broke up over his endorsement of Trump, but then I feel like they got past it. Okay. So as far as I know, he's happily in the relationship now. But
there's one song on here that we'll see how she reacts to it.
But that is really one of the enduring things about Lil Wayne is like his songwriting about dramatic relationship stuff that like it is compelling to hear at the end of the day, but the story is about his life is complicated,
Yeah. And just the fact, like, he's reliable in a sense of, like, he's not going to change his womanizing ways. He's going to keep doing this, like...
And do we even want him to change?
No, no, I don't want Wayne. I want Wayne to stay exactly the same way.
It's, maybe he could change his support for Donald Trump.
That is a good point.
The thing is, a guy lets you out of jail...
You're going to low-key be like, all right, that was sick.
You can't not, I mean...
You owe him one.
Of course, he probably like didn't really quote unquote like let some like Trump probably kind of took credit for something.
Yeah.
Like
it was something done behind the scenes that they made Trump take credit for because it looked good with the black vote right before an election because he freed Kodak Black as well. Like that was like the main,
it was
like,
a total
should not have
political move.
Leave Kodak alone. Leave him in the cell.
Yeah,
but Wayne, that was a. Kind of a G move, fortunately. But also he had nothing to do with it.
And getting A$AP Rocky out of jail.
That's true. I don't think he actually did. He just tweeted about it.
No, he just made a phone call to one guy probably, and, but whatever.
Overall, the first song, Act Up, it's not like the not the most memorable bars, but and the beat itself is like kind of those beats that I was saying before, like the horn-based beats, like the more orchestra ones that are like kind of dated at this point, but like... It's Wayne. He doesn't know what fucking year it is. Just let him rap on any type of beat.
That's what's refreshing to hear about.
Because no one's gonna rap. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's fresh.
His music just comes out of like
all he does is rap and skateboard. I guess a little bit. Like he's gonna just pump out shit.
And always like with the sound wise, it's all over the place. But there definitely is this new emo wave that he's tapping into
for sure.
And
trying to stay hip a little bit, but like
the song Birds, I would say, kind of booty.
Oh, man. I can't decide, man. It's like the beat is literally... Alright, Josh, I want your fresh take on this.
Okay.
It's the stupidest beat I've ever heard.
Not to pull you out of your leisure time, but...
I'm just organizing my music.
That lighter flick.
Dude, most epic sound in music.
He's flowing though, you know. I don't know.
He's an
the beat is.
What does it remind me of? Fuck.
It reminds me of if you tried to make a beat for that song that we never finished, fucking Future, Chrome Futures, yeah. It's like a demo of that.
It reminds me of like something like a glitched out Wii.
Yeah, something like
it's
that.
If you go into the the Me menu,
yeah,
in the Wii, and after like dunking it in water,
yeah,
basically,
yeah.
It's like
this song was a Wii U of a song, you know. It was
Wii U, man.
It was out of a strange era from the 2010s that somehow like lasted.
Yeah. All I'm saying is,
and he probably made this like 9 years ago on drugs. Doesn't remember anything about it. Like it just got put out, like, you know.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If we got like Travis Scott, Birds in the Trap, Sig McKnight era Travis on this song, or
that'd be cool.
Or Mac Miller, like watching movies with the sound off, which a lot of bird themes and imagery in that one. Let's get a whole bird track, and I think it'll go well.
That could be a project for you.
Yeah. Okay. I'll get in touch with my people.
Molding a bunch of features in there that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Decent idea.
Anyway, yeah, this beat is
it's just to me, it's not really worth harping on. I just thought it was, but he.
I don't know. I think he's flowing, and it's like a decent chorus for what it is. The beat is super jarring. You're either gonna hate it or love it.
He does play around with the idea of birds in many different but
also some of it's just kind of nonsense, and he's
ways.
Just like, yeah.
It reminds me of East.
Yeah, a little bit, eh?
Abrasiveness.
Lil Wayne's rapping talent is undeniable.
But it's the choices that he and his team make that is like eyebrow raising. Like, this is the one. This is it. The next song I slip though, I think is probably my favorite on the album.
I thought it was kind of annoying the voice that he was doing.
The voice, eh? I mean, the chorus is not great. The whole y'all like extra skin on my dick. Y'all like extra skin on my dick.
I don't understand what that means.
Like, I don't know what that means.
Is he doing a pro or anti-circumcision
I can't tell
stance on this one?
I don't know. Yeah, the chorus is whatever, but I like the verses. I like the beats and the flows. But we're ready for the next edition for the poop bars segment?
Yeah, I was going to mention it if you didn't mention it.
Okay. Here it is. Lil Wayne, Slip. The Fix Before the 6th, 2023. I ain't talking shit. I'm gargling the toilet water.
Sound effect of a toilet flushing. I don't like that one.
Ain't talking shit?
I ain't talking shit, but he's gargling the toilet water.
Yeah, it's a conundrum. Like it's
like it doesn't even make sense as a poop bar.
He's saying one thing but doing.
Are you sure you're quoting that right?
It might be I stay talking shit, I'm gargling the toilet, but I'm pretty sure I was on the Genius page. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I thought it was more like I'm not just talking shit, I'm also gargling the toilet.
Maybe.
It's like, you know.
I could have paraphrased it.
But all I know is that it makes me sick.
Yeah.
Stomach.
I'll put just the imagery of taking a fucking glass of water, putting
absolutely
it in
disgusting.
It. Yeah, you don't want to think about that.
It gets a laugh.
Yeah.
But you don't want to hear that too many times in one lifetime.
No.
Or else, you're living in some kind of toilet world. And I don't want to be there.
I'm already into baby. I've been into the world. Come on, it's my whole life. I got one more bar on Slip.
Okay.
This one I believe is exactly the way it is wrapped. Becky, give me head and use my pubic hair as dental floss.
All right, that's
not
funny.
A poop bar, but is that fire? Is that trash? He's
Wayne. You have to understand. Wayne has already done every angle on giving head, getting head, any kind of sexual act. He's already done every single joke that you could possibly come up with. So he's now doing pubic dental floss bars. Yeah. So that's where we're at in culture right now. So let's just let that sink in.
Accept it. I mean, more gross imagery, but like it's not as bad. I don't know. It's funny.
At least he's saying something good. Flossing is a healthy thing to do.
And if you happen to do it with pubic hair, no one's gonna judge you.
No.
Yeah. Let your freak flag fly.
I will.
Exactly.
As I've said in the past.
I will a little bit.
Josh will judge you. Well, he's a bigot, so. Wait.
But, you will, your dentists are going to be happy. You're not going to have gingivitis. Yeah. And that's a serious thing.
Yep.
And, I'm not... I'll derail this whole podcast.
Oh, you have many times.
To explain about proper health.
Yeah.
Okay, and don't just take it from me. Take it from Lil Wayne. Ain't that right?
All right, now do a voice.
Now you...
No, I'm not...
Edit this part in.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You AI voice him saying, of course, that's right, buddy Alex.
Okay, got you.
That's right, buddy Alex. Flossing is an important tool for your mouth's health. 9 out of 10 dentists agree that flossing should be a nightly routine for everyone. But obviously, I don't have to floss, because I can't manage to remove my $1 million grills. Rapcast 4L.
You are the best podcaster on this show.
We'll see.
Way better
We'll see what he says. We'll find out. Cat Food was a single he dropped for it.
Fun track overall. It goes places.
I think there's decent bars and verses on here.
I think it's worth it as a track.
I mean, to me, it's just way too long. It's like a 5-minute track, and the chorus is repeated 4 or 5 times. It's a long chorus,
This one I could see going off in the strip club, though.
Yeah, I understand why it's a single. It didn't do most for me, but it's not bad.
Purina.
Ooh, Serena. Oh, yeah, it's just kind of, I don't know, a bit repetitive.
I mean, sometimes you just have to tell the women to bust it down and put their hands on their knees and all those things, and it's a necessary thing in a rap song, so I can't hate on it. He does have a bar where he says, ass pussy boobs, APB.
Yeah.
And there's no joke. It's just
he's just stating it. Hey, guys, did you ever notice that fucking this stands for, Yeah, that's the way that I like. Is let's go, man.
I think I'm going to implement that short form in my life. Yeah.
Not sure where.
See someone on the street, you want to point out to your friend, hey, APB.
APB.
It's APB right there, 12 o'clock.
Could be a good code word for perverts out there.
All you perverts that are listening this far into the podcast. Okay, let's get into this next one. I'm excited for this.
Tuxedo. Now, this is what we're talking about. Donald Trump pop punk. That's a bar in itself.
In a world where Lil Wayne bites from MGK. Is that a world I want to live in,
I don't know.
Not bites, but it is just a guitar. It's the same guitar you would hear on a MGK pop punk album.
I thought it kind of worked, though, honestly.
Lil Wayne's part works. I think, the sound itself, there's one song, I think it was my guilty pleasure for one of the years that we wrapped up, Lose by KSI, the YouTuber featuring Lil Wayne. And he does, I think he does a really good job. He can fit into that kind of genre of, the more pop punk rock kind of stuff.
It's because of how timeless Lil Wayne's voice is, to where he still sounds like a teenager at age 41 on a track.
And the fact that, I don't know if we've talked about this in the podcast before, but, he kind of influenced the game again in the fact that he dropped the, what was that one album, Rebirth, from, 2010. It was, a rock album from Lil Wayne. Right. Before all the other new fucking rock, pop, pop punk, rap
I don't think it was
seen
as very successful in its time.
No, it was critically panned.
The wave has
and I think there's still a place for him there, so I'm excited to see if he does go a little bit in this direction in Carter 6. I'm a little bit I don't know, man, how much can I stand?
I don't think it's something you can do a full album as without it being seen as whack.
Yeah. But I'm interested to see if a song like this is included in the Carter 6, or if this is because it was so different.
This is purging that off, because that's more what I think is going to be happening.
Because to me, the feature Euro, one of Wayne's goons, lack of a better term, it just doesn't fit to me.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about the Donald Trump bar?
I mean, he just basically says, that he let him out of jail, and so that's why he's... he had a conversation with him. It also kind of it aligns a little bit with his views about criticizing the Black Lives Matter movement and not wanting to be a part of it.
Yeah, that was the thing that people brought up right around that time.
That kind of thing could align with the right wing talking points a little bit more. So I see where that's coming from to a degree as well.
Yeah, I can see why he doesn't want to get taxed more
So why are people,
for things he doesn't care about.
'Cause he's a rich person,
fucking
yeah.
asshole, probably. Yeah,
Why
I'm sure Wayne is an asshole, but like,
why are people going to Lil Wayne for political?
yeah, exactly. Like, he's such an enigma that he's like not even a human being. I wish he had 2 albums called "I'm Not a Human Being" 1 and 2. He's been telling us for years
Yeah.
he's a Martian.
Yeah, I didn't even. You're speaking nerd to me. I don't even. Yeah, no, I listen to "I Am Not a Human Being" too.
So I'm not crazy. I'm not just imagining all this.
But it's just interesting, like the political like subtext of stuff and nowadays.
Because he says I call my homie Donald Trump, and that was that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, well, it's your homie now. All right.
Especially because he could still be the president again, and that would suck.
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to grapple with the fact that, obviously it's a horrible trend in hip-hop to, like, idolize Donald Trump like he's some kind of good person.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be good for...
millions of people.
Yeah, oppressed communities in America. Like, I don't think electing another Republican is a good thing for that at all, but... Obviously, it's not, like, it's other people's political opinions, so they can do what they want, but...
Yeah.
I express a little bit of concern about that.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing for
Fair.
Kanye, too, wearing the Trump
Yes.
hat, really, at the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, it's like completely distant from the community. When you reach a certain level of fame and success, you're like you are isolate. You're no longer part of that community.
Which is kind of how he explained the whole kind of thing, how he doesn't really stand with Black Lives Matter movement, because like that's just like, I'm a famous black person. I haven't had to, like, I'm not a part of their community. I'm not in the projects. I don't deal with the same issues as them. Like, I've been rich since I was 13 years old. Like, I'm just not the same. Like, I just can't relate almost, which is like kind of sucks. But like, it's not like you can't understand why he would say that,
But it's interesting, jumping ahead a little bit to later on in this new Lil Yachty J. Cole song, how J. Cole also criticizes the movement, but from a different perspective of just saying that a lot of these activists made themselves a lot of money and got attention off of the whole movement while accomplishing basically nothing for the actual oppressed minorities here. So there are a lot of different opinions out there, but it's coming out and straight endorsing Trump is a bit of a different... I'm not into that.
Yeah,
so.
Don't like to hear it.
But we can have nuanced criticisms of protest movements. I wanted to talk about the Fouché.
Yeah, Chanel number 5 featuring Fouché.
Feature. The song is a bit all over the place, but
I think kind of lacks structure and the beat's kind of wacko, but
it's the kind of track you would put out. I'm glad that it at least got put out and didn't stay on a fucking hard drive, Yeah,
I'm glad that it
I
exists.
like Fouché's. Hearing her rap is interesting.
Yeah, like, but my whole thing is like, whose idea was it to put Fouché on this type of beat, Like this style, like Fouché. Obviously, I'm glad that we have it, but it's just like, what goes through their mind there? It's like someone hears this song in Wayne's camp, it's like, you should get Fouché on this shit.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I imagine they got together a few times, because they've done a couple of different collabs
they've
over
worked
the years
together before. But I think her rap shit is dope.
No, I really
dope.
liked
I think
it.
Wayne does his thing as well,
and it was kind of a bit of a victory lap for Fouché herself as someone who's come up in recent years.
Yeah.
And I liked, just hearing her celebrate her own success in that way.
For sure.
Cause that's the kind of thing you would want to do on a track, like on a Lil Wayne track as well.
Yeah, and on a throwaway, or almost where it's just
basically
like, okay,
a throwaway track. Yeah,
like,
so
it's out there for the people that fuck with me and like to show you, like, here it is. I'm flexing, but like, it's also not. She's not like promoting it all like that much.
But overall, like the song itself as a concept, it does kind of come together with the Chanel number 5, like the perfume.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying conceptually that they do put some effort into making the songs make sense as far as these two people on one song together.
Some sort of subject matter as well.
But maybe it's not even so meant to be so analyzed. It's just a random song.
I don't think any of these are meant to be overly analyzed, but that's exactly what we're doing.
The next track, though.
Oh my god.
Titties.
What the
titties,
fuck
titties,
is this, man?
Titties. Oh, he just repeats the word titties over and over again, and like his vocal, like he sounds like he's kind of going crazy.
Yeah.
It's like he's like some
insane AI robot
insane
that's
fetishist.
Yeah, no, he's horny. He's a horny guy, man. To make a whole song called Titty Boy. First of all, not having a 2 Chainz feature is criminal.
Yeah.
But just the fact that this exists and is out there is like, what the fuck? Because like, even the beat break is like, the beat drop is like, almost an EDM drill kind of mix, almost like the drum, like something about the pattern of the drum or something is like kind of drill like. I'm just like he's doing this, and he's just saying titties 20 times.
And it's like you're happening? Sitting there trying to get like hyped up, but you're just picturing this like really horned up like
41
short guy, fucking
40-year-old guy who's had like several seizures in his life.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, man.
It's
This
crazy.
isn't erotic at all. This is
no. And he's like trying.
This isn't erotic. This is neurotic. Completely.
It's like a 5-minute song. Like it goes on like way too long. It's a travesty, but also it's just insane that it's just wild.
It's a musical mistake, I would say.
Yeah. Last song is literally just a Sports Center song. Like it's just I think it was like made for something.
Yeah, it's because he's like close friends with Skip Bayless.
Yeah. I think it's like on their show sometimes randomly. Like
I thought for what it is, it was good.
Yeah, I guess.
But it's a better.
It almost gives me hope that like okay, yeah, this is if he's putting a Sports Center song on here, like these are scraps. Like these are the ones that are like let's just put out something, get your name out there again, and then.
But it's
kind of soon, I guess.
It's kind of strange as a marketing ploy of like the putting out the deluxe before it comes out.
Yeah.
But maybe there'll be a deluxe to the Carter 6
I think there probably will, honestly, yeah. Because he did that for the Carter 5.
We might as well just pump out as much...
yeah, he's got so many songs out there, man. Like,
just saturate
if this is the third worst version of the Carter 6 we'll get, if there's like the Carter 6, the deluxe, and the shit before, if this is the worst one, then that's good for me. The rest, the other two
I wonder if he'll have any hits on the level of an Uproar.
I think he got it. I think he got it in him to do it.
Out of this new track,
if they have some good features too, like some prominent features, it could be big.
Because Uproar was big.
Yeah, I got played at like fucking sporting events and like
The
parties.
Swiss Beats album, but like I'm sure he's cooking up some interesting stuff.
Always looking out for new Lil Wayne, even if this project was kind of mid overall.
But once rappers get to their 40s, you can't really have the same trust in that you used to have in them. Usually.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Wiki and Mike album?
Yeah, so we're aware that Alchemist and Earl Sweatshirt have dropped. We'll talk about it soon, but Alchemist has been busy. He also did this album with Wiki and Mike. Mike more so from the Slum Sound. Wiki has kind of been in that bag a little bit more recently. I've been a bit of a Wiki fan the past few years. I really liked his album from 2021, I want to say. And
we originally got to know Wiki from a verse he had on Earl Sweatshirt's I don't like shit, I don't go aside. Yeah. Way back in 2015.
So it's kind of fun to see them kind of in the same lane. Once again, they kind of came apart for a bit, and then like...
Yeah, it would be cool if they did a song together, but...
They did on that album.
The thing is, Earl and Mike's rapping style are so similar
exactly,
now
yeah. I was going to say that like I haven't really gotten really much into... I really like him on this new project, but like... I haven't got into him as much because he just sounds so similar to Earl in a lot of ways, like in his delivery and shit. That I'm just like, I don't know.
Like, ironically, Mike probably did it first.
He did, that's the general consensus.
Was influenced by it.
Yeah, I just think Earl's overall better lyricist, like in a way crazier like level.
Yeah.
Versus Mike, but I really liked a lot of what he was saying on here.
I wouldn't sleep on Mike though because of how I've heard how he's very critically acclaimed and has a lot of projects that go back years. But I haven't really. This is my first time I've really listened to a project with him, and I thought he gave some great performances.
Yeah.
We don't have to linger on this for too long because I feel like sometimes when the music is just really good and. Unless it's a big controversy thing or we want to break it down.
Yeah, it's just good.
Let's just say that that's good and move on.
Yeah, I mean, the beats are crazy, a lot of them. By Alchemist, he did his thing. They both had some great performances. There's some good lyricism in there, but nothing that really jumps out as, like, I want to talk about this bar, I want to talk about this bar. It's just more so, like, just good rapping, you know?
Yeah. I was going to mention one thing style-wise about the kind of New York City backdrop of this. Yeah. Some of the themes that they build on, the Mayor's a Cop song was one of the early singles that I listened to, that I got into. You know, good commentary on where they allocate money, you know, towards police and not towards, you know, helping people out. The other song that piqued my interest out of it was Odd Ways.
Yeah.
It had this kind of trippy vibe in this. I really liked Mike's kind of meditating on just like drinking, like on sort of alcoholism, but like not. It wasn't like a sad song really, but it was just like he had a bar about, you know, I had one beer and then it turned into 5, and they could look at my eyes, they can tell I've been hanging with the guys, like that kind of stuff of like just feeling like a little bit like you might be living your life in a bit of an off way or doing some unhealthy habits. And that's one where the whole concept of the sound, Alchemist sound and everything came together and spoke to me on about a specific topic.
Right.
But a lot of the other tracks are, it's just kind of like
they're
about
just showing off.
It's about a lot of things. It's a poetry.
Exactly.
It's you know, it's about I was here.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
There.
I've only really listened to it like 2 or 3 times in full, so it's like hard for me to pinpoint certain things because I haven't really digested it all that much. I'm sure if we came back in another few weeks, I would have more to say about like some of the specifics. But like, I just think it's dope overall.
That was really my main thing that I noticed, and just how Mike and Wiki, they really like use their voice as an instrument and get into these.
Because both have super unique voices that like might put some people off or whatever. Like
with Mike being kind of mumbly really well. And with Wiki having sort of a
lisp
accent or a lisp or some kind of style that he talks with. But we'll get more into.
But check it out for sure. Like if you're into the slum sound at all, if you like the new Earl tape, listen to it for sure.
And just eternal flowers for Alchemist, who's like been in the game since 1991.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll talk game about the Mick Jenkins album real quick as well. I've been bumping it a whole lot. It's been out for a while now, probably like a month. Yeah, it's called The Patience. Features from the feature list is already crazy. Freddie Gibbs, Benny the Butcher, JID, Vic Mensa. Short and sweet, 11 songs. And he's, I don't know. I really love it. Like, I think it's really great. His, again, it's not to talk about fucking rappers' emotion, or their charisma on the mic again, but like, he's just such an emotional fucking rapper. Like, he's really fucking like, he's not just talking. He's really fucking, like, his voice and his energy is like crazy. Like, he's almost like kind of screaming or crying, it sounds like sometimes throughout this tape. And for good reasons too. I
listened to it once, but like I got like a lot of vulnerability and bearing your soul kind of stuff, and I was like, this definitely deserves more listens. Good guest performances.
They all killed it.
He hops into the Benny the Butcher style, or they hop into each other's worlds a little bit in a way that was really interesting on that track. Sitting Ducks.
Super introspective, kind of like almost sad weed anthem from JID and Mick, going back and forth of like, explaining kind of why they might smoke weed, like they're getting into a little bit about their past and the places they come from, and like talking about themselves, and like, but also doing it all in the guise of like, it's cool to smoke though, like, and I'm rolling up, I'm smoking weed, like, that's just what it is, man. Like, and the song Roy G. Biv I thought was fucking great. Like, it's just complete like breakdown. It almost kind of reminded me of Rick Indigo. Shout out Rick Indigo from the previous episode, or the one before that, I suppose. His last song Indigo is when he gets into like color theory a little bit and like has some bars about that. Like, this song is all about like just fucking color bars, and it's just like really it's impressive to do something like that and not have it come off just like corny,
like when we did a song about paranormal stuff.
No, that was fucking fire. Go listen to that. It's Halloween.
It's Halloween, bitches.
J. Cole, Lil Yachty, something that we both listened to.
The Secret Recipe.
Who would have thunk it?
I actually first heard about this song when I was reading Complex's interview of Childish Gambino recently.
Oh yeah, I read that as well.
And he shouted it out as a new song he's listening to. Yeah. Which, that's crazy. Like, Childish Gambino is like...
I think he's tuned in. He's like into, because like a lot of Atlanta, like the songs that were used in that show were like very in with the times. Like, they had Broccoli on there, like in season 1.
But the show Atlanta is real. He's living at a farm now. He's got cows.
That's true.
He's got like a cows, like he's got the writer's room, studio, all in, like he's building a compound.
No, for sure.
He's kind of a little bit insane.
No, he's a bit of a cult leader, because he has his new thing, Hilga, I think is the name of his like new brand, his new like label or whatever the fuck. He's had 21 Savage come over a bunch and shit, and like...
Yeah, I fuck with it though. I fuck with it.
I think Malio Obama has been over a few times.
Yeah, he's making a movie with Barack Obama's kid.
I think she had writing credits on that Swarm show. That was really good.
Yeah, I only watched a couple episodes of that. I didn't really get into it. We say that to say that we're excited about a potential drop there as well.
He did mention something about like we'll know sooner rather than later about some new music. So, but I feel like that's something just to say.
In the same milieu of artists and entertainers out there is Lil Yachty.
And we'll have to have a discussion at the end of the year about like, was this his year? Was he underrated MVP perhaps?
Yeah.
He's put out a lot of songs, a lot of features. For me, a really great album with Let's Start Here.
Yeah.
He keeps just pumping them out.
There could be an argument about that.
Yeah.
I would be interested to see that you build a whole case there.
Yeah. Go to court with it.
But interesting to hear Cole and Yachty on a track together. I don't think we've heard that before.
No, I would never expect it really either.
I thought very interesting perspective coming from both of them.
Yeah.
Yachty his rapping style.
He's doing like a high pitch kind of, and it gets like a little higher as he goes on. Then he kind of brings it back a little bit, and then it gets higher. Like it's very kind of strange inflection he's going with.
Yeah,
kind of a more minimalistic boom bap type beat.
He's kind of ranting with it a little bit.
Yeah,
and
almost like an Earl Sweatshirty type of like delivery in a sense of like.
Yeah, like
just his flow.
I just mean in the sense that like the emotional performance side of it, like plays into the meaning of like what he's saying about. They tried to rope me in with lames. They didn't shake my hand. They don't respect me.
Yeah.
They don't see how I push the culture.
Exactly.
How the vultures, they came after me and all, like basically explaining. And when you really do the history on Lil Yachty and how he first popped off and then had sort of the identity crisis.
Yeah. Trying some bunch of different sounds.
Midway through and then almost the Poland song almost kind of popped out of nowhere and kind of
reinvigorated,
rebrought him into the game. And kind of similar kind of thing, like how Tyler the Creator had his original, come up and then had to reinvent himself multiple times.
Yeah.
But he's definitely like in that league of artists.
I'd say
and
so.
Although he's you can always look into like stupid bars he's had in the past or whatever about the cello or whatever.
Yeah.
And now to look in the future, and now there's dissect videos about giving his lyrics multiple meanings and stuff like that. When beforehand he was misremembering
didn't know what a cello was.
So it's interesting to see that come up and how him talk about that.
And now he's getting respected in more of the sense where he has songs with Drake and J. Cole, whereas in the past, like that would not, like he was more the Migos kind of guy or like Ugly God type of shit. Even like Lil Uzi, like kind of in that SoundCloud era. I mean, I guess 21 Savage also was in that era and he's toured with Drake. But like it is a crazy
But most
rise.
Of the people from those times either fell off,
changed
completely,
died,
or actually had to fully reinvent themselves.
Yeah.
But for a long time, Yachty was the poster boy of receiving all this hate about how this new era was full of, no talent artists.
But now he's getting all this respect, like critically and from his peers. That's like, he deserves to flex on a song like this with J. Cole.
Yeah, because he did prove them all wrong.
Yeah. And he's almost, maybe, I don't know about bigger than ever, but like, pretty fucking big. I don't know.
Miles? Cheers to you. But yeah, just about the song itself.
Yeah, J. Cole's performance. What'd you think?
Pretty good.
I thought he killed it.
Yeah, I definitely I feel like there's sometimes an exaggeration about his lyrical prowess. Like he's
not the most
reinventing the wheel or anything. But I don't think you can hate on his verse at all.
No, I think Kendrick is miles better lyrically. I think Earl Sweatshirt is obviously miles better. Like he's not the greatest lyricist, the most deepest guy, but he's really good at certain aspects of storytelling and like he's a really genuine person that I think like plays well into his music. Of like you believe, like even during his flexes, you're like he's down to earth somehow though. Still almost, I don't know, just the way he carries himself.
Well, like even. He has a bar where he says like about if you get the J. Cole feature, your streams will go up.
Yeah.
It's not quite the Drake effect.
Yeah.
So, he's self-deprecating even while doing a bar about, and even
he's humble.
But then he still signs the verse saying "signed the greatest."
Yeah, I know.
Or the greatest yet.
Greatest yet.
Something like that. So.
There was a whole thing as well. He was talking about how like if you FaceTime me, I'm gonna give you the fucking about a feature. I'm gonna give you the stank face, or like I'm gonna give you like some shit like that. And apparently it was a diss to NBA YoungBoy. Apparently, who tried to FaceTime Cole, and then like as soon as the song dropped, NBA YoungBoy was like threatening to send out shooters to J. Cole.
Oh, wow.
And then apparently just on this new Drake album, because there's a J. Cole feature on the Drake album, he's talking about how like that wasn't a diss towards NBA Youngboy. He's like, so that must have been like a fairly new feature for the Drake album. Not to get fucking ahead of ourselves, but
yeah, more interesting stuff there to talk about as far as J. Cole and Drake and him constantly comparing himself to him. It's almost getting kind of pathetic at this
a little
point.
bit, yeah. But fall off, excited.
But we're excited to see how that works out. Do you want to get into the Earthgang thing? I only heard 2 of the tracks.
All I'm gonna say really is that like if you're a big fan of like the older Earthgang, like this is very much return to form for them. After Ghetto Gods was kind of disappointing. Mirrorland was a little bit all over the place in my opinion. But the Spillage album is fantastic.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But in terms of solo shit, which is strange because like the last like really good Earthgang solo thing were 3 EPs they dropped back in the day. So like I'm thinking like are they just like better in smaller doses maybe? You know, like when it's just like I don't know. But apparently they're off a label now. Whatever label they were on, so now it's more independent. So now they can kind of make the music that they want to make. And I think this EP delivers that sense. Like some more poppy kind of rap cuts, like the Die Today song that was played earlier. And
I thought that one was pretty funny.
I think it's a great song, a great video as well. I think it's solid overall. If you're a fan of Earthgang, check it out. And probably my favorite EP of the year. Probably over Summer Walker, even though I do really like that EP.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much running out of things on the thing.
Let's just go through some quick stuff here.
Wait, Kevin Abstract?
Oh, yeah. Kevin Abstract song Blanket. He's dropping new shit. Merlin dropped an EP that we haven't listened to yet. That Blackout song was kind of whatever. But I only listened to it like one song.
Like always with Merlin, I'm going to keep watching that space. I like his energy party tracks.
Yeah.
He has a great voice for it.
We'll listen. So we'll review the EP at some point.
We'll see how he does with the EP as far as
point
versatile
is,
his
Rockhampton
sound.
Boys are coming up in the news cycle again. Kevin Abstract did a secret show in New York, and apparently it's like going to be like kind of a rock grunge kind of album because this new song Blanket,
right?
Which I heard at first. I'm like, is that even a song really? Like what? It's more so a teaser if anything, just because. Yeah, it's just like pretty much like how would you explain it? Just like a grunge guitar riff.
So
and he's just kind of whisper rapping a little bit.
First of all, like he always kills it with the music videos, but it reminds me
crazy music video.
It reminds me a lot of he had a shoegaze band with Romil and Bareface before Brockhampton called No Wi-Fi. Their EP Memorial Day is still up on Bandcamp, and it's actually very good. I bought it and it's like it is like good shoegaze music, and so I think so he's done the rock thing, the straight up rock thing before, and it's worked out pretty well in my opinion. So I'm excited to see what he does with that because it is straight up like sort of a rock kind of song. So it's I'm really excited to see what.
Yeah, I'm a little more hesitant of like how is this sound gonna really work for him. I'm a bigger fan of Arizona Baby and to a lesser extent American Boyfriend, but he's kind of genre jumped in the past and with Brockhampton as well. So I'm like, confident enough in artistic ability to be like, okay, I'm gonna listen to it. I'll keep up with it and see. But
I'm interested to see where he goes.
Yeah.
If it's gonna end up sounding like the Brockhampton self-titled final album,
yes,
then I don't know how excited I will be in the end for it because I thought that album was kind of trash, and it was mostly him.
Yeah, I mean, apparently at this show, I guess it was L.A. he did the show in. Apparently there are rumors of Romil was for sure there, and then I think there's rumors of like Matt Champion and Joba being there as well.
Right.
I don't think Dom and Merlin were there or Bareface. Who knows what Bareface is up to?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like it.
We'll see if there's future collabs,
Yeah, I would like it if like these former members of the boy band still occasionally collaborate with each other while also collaborating with other people. Dominic Fike.
Yeah.
You could see Gene Dawson and
for sure.
linking up with these people, Fouché or all these. A lot of great artists in this scene that I could see collaborating and making really interesting stuff.
I went through. There's this whole like kind of leaked music page that you can follow for a bunch of different artists. And out of curiosity, I just went through the Brockhampton one, and they're like, there's some crazy features that they ended up getting that they just didn't do anything with. They collabed with Halsey at one point. I think there was rumors of what was it like? I don't remember.
You don't remember, but it was
Yachty was one of them.
Oh, okay.
But that was like for Kevin's like solo album that he scrapped at one point. The one that had the feature that had the Sierra Nights and Slugger singles he put out like a while back.
Oh yeah.
Like that was an album that was scrapped that had some big features.
Right,
like,
because he did the song with Snot for that one.
Yeah,
like
Slow Tie. And Dominic Fike was on that shit too. The leaked, or the not the leaked, but like the fucking scrapped shit.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah.
I think
we have pull. Like it's
we're in an interesting era for all those like the post Brockhampton.
Yeah.
We'll see if it can produce anything interesting.
Yeah. Speaking of
Brock, Don McLennan did a song, but I didn't hear it because it was only on YouTube.
Don McLennan did a song called "The River," which I thought was pretty good, and then he did another one that had, I don't remember the name of it.
I don't remember the name of it either.
The video had like was him driving around in a car or whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It wasn't great.
It was pretty repetitive, honestly.
Yeah.
But the first one, River, is very good. The second one's not.
And he posted recently on like his Discord, I guess, because he has a Discord of like going through a lot of like personal, family, health shit or like just issues and shit. So he's just like he meant to put out an album at this point, but he's like going through some shit. So it's delayed, I guess.
Right.
But speaking of Gene Dawson, new song with SZA, which I think is great. I think it's great he got a SZA feature. It's great for his career. I think she's huge right now, so I'm hoping that it gets more ears on him.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great tune.
Yeah.
Kind of a meditation on seasons and L.A. Like how
so that
making some kind of point about how there are no seasons in LA.
Yeah, you're kind of just end up jaded and kind of numb, like in your mind, like.
Yeah,
definitely some allusions to that.
You need to have the lows in order to have the highs. You need to have winter to have summer. That kind of idea.
Yeah, I think it's great progression in the song. I'm just starting out with Gene Dawson, more acoustic shit. Pretty good singing as well from him.
Yeah.
Kind of builds up a little bit more in the beat, and then it slows down again for SZA, and then it builds up more again with the two of them. Yeah. It's a super solid tune.
And what they did for the video was interesting as well.
Yeah, with the kids in the crayon, drawing with the crayon was interesting.
It's kind of creepy in a way.
Yeah, a little bit. Just the Conway the Machine 38 Special mixtape.
I did hear it once, and I liked it, and I haven't heard it. I didn't listen to it again, though. Okay. So there was one song, at least, that I remember liking, but I can't remember what it's called.
Good to know. Beautiful. All right. 2 hours, 40 minutes.
Thanks for listening. Follow us on all the social medias.
If this footage gets lost by me, it's a blessing in disguise. I don't have to edit it.
And play this podcast when I die.
And I be feeling like the bad guy, but actually I'm the sad guy. Baby said that I'm the mad guy. I just wanna be the worry about my fucking bad guy. Remember reaching through a purse